what's up, y'all? And oh, I know what y'all thinking right now. I know what y'all thinking. How are we gonna top the last one? Well, you're gonna find out. Okay, but first, I gotta ask per usual. If you could hit that sub button, hit that like button, give me a comment. It would be greatly appreciated. Means a ton. Really helps the channel grow. Really just helps all the facets. And hey, like I always say, if you got some criticism, you want some things that hey, I feel like this will make it better. Let us know in the comments. It always helps. Helps us get an idea of where you're at. But nonetheless, I'll let y'all into the episode. I hope y'all enjoy, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out.
Okay. So, where we left off last time, um, the party had we started with Suiko's fight against her fellow clansman, Uzumaki Yuhara, I believe her name is, which Suiko beat her to a pulp. Too much trouble. Uh, I think she got like one or two attacks off. She missed every time otherwise. After that, the final match of the Chunin exams, or at least what was supposed to be the first round of the tournament of the Chunin exams between Izuto and Lily, began. Uh, Lily managed to defeat Izuto, sort of taking advantage of his relative lack of range abilities, compared to her, at least, which she had learned her lesson from the first fight between the two, which clearly would have ended in his victory. After she defeated him, she declared a bit of a manifesto to the watching crowd, including the Hokage, um, speaking out against the tyranny and the authority of the ninja sort of hierarchy in place. Um, she seemed alarmed, though, when her caller appeared to transform her into a massive dragon. Several different claws, very Chinese-style dragon, with fire bursting out from various points. The dragon and the Hokage sort of went off to do their battle, with the Hokage preventing the dragon from just killing everybody in the stands. Um, our heroes, though, were assigned by Kenjiro to go and take care of the street that they normally gathered at, because it's what they were familiar with from whatever was attacking the Leaf Village. They successfully did so after a bit of a detour between Izuto and Suiko and Arata and Aburami Aya, who briefly joined their party. Um, Once they reunited, though, they managed to save the vast majority of the civilians in the area, evacuating them to the monk's temple. And that's where we left off. They returned, being saved by a strange woman, apparently a ninja, as a terracotta titan burst from the remains of the inn
Oh
that they
yeah.
normally stay at. Um, the rest of the day, everyone was fairly exhausted from their fight, but along with the monks, you all fended off a relatively small sort of trickle of lions, mostly that approached the temple, seeking easy prey. Between the monks and you got your guys' range support, it was not terribly dangerous. You get the sense that whatever the bulk of the attack was, it wasn't directed at this particular area. Um, as evening went into night, the village became deathly silent, as it appears whatever attack has either been repelled or dealt with, as you guys wait for word from someone in a position who would know more than you guys. Um, as you wait, uh, you finally see a familiar figure walking up the path to the temple, and I will go ahead and start music. Um,
My God, it's Lily.
breathe a you breathe a sigh of relief as where is he? Kenjiro, the monks stand aside, letting Kenjiro pass. Kenjiro looks about as tired as you guys feel. He looks kind of beaten up, pretty bloodied. Sort of his armor and not in the best condition. Uh, he has a kind of a serious expression on his face. He looks very relieved as he passes the monks, though, and sees you all there, apparently safe and relatively sound. Uh, he says, "Well, howdy, guys. Looks like you managed to hopefully save whatever civilians you could, yeah?"
Oh, we saved all of them.
Well, some
Heck
were
yeah.
not doing too hot, when we got there.
Kenjiro nods and says, "Yeah, I believe it. The rest of the village, I saw some unfortunate tragedies along the way. But good. I'm glad you saved as many as you could. That's what matters. You're all okay? Nothing. No broken bones, debilitating injuries, things like that."
As far as I know, not for me.
Not that I can feel.
Kenjiro looks a little doubtful.
Yeah, no.
That's not very comforting, Arata. But I assume Than would bark if you were in real danger there.
Oh yeah,
I mean, the most damage I received out of this whole thing came from Izuto. That was fun.
Sorry.
Is it easy to?
Hey, it was a cool move. I'll give it
Cone
that.
attacks and all that. Without me,
At
you
the
wouldn't have really
cost
lived.
of-
So,
It was a cool move at the cost of me.
well, I feel like you wouldn't have done too well without me. So,
God, I hate it here. I want to go home.
Kenjiro nods slowly, still sort of glaring at Izuto a little bit. He redirects his attention, though. He says, news. Suiko, Arata, last I checked, everywhere is nice and quiet. We have a bit of a command center going on near the Konoha Arena, sort of ad hoc with most of the Jonin there. The Inuzuka compound and the Uzumaki compound, they both appear to be largely untouched by the attack. The attack seems to mostly have been directed toward more of the civilian quarters of the city, as opposed to challenging any of the compounds of the great clans. So your family should be fine.
Or civilians.
I'll say I'm glad my family's fine, but it's less than ideal, I suppose.
Yeah.
Andrew nods and says, "Yeah, we're still getting information coming in, but there's already been some intel that's been gathered. Right now, it appears that we've taken out all of the moving lions and warriors that we know about. We're still searching the town, though, and more importantly, the warehouses where they came from, to see if there's any more that need to be woken up. So everyone's going to need to stay in the temple, at least for tonight. I imagine we'll be done clearing out the village by tomorrow morning, maybe tomorrow at noon, at the latest. Izuto, how are your... Did the orphans make it here okay?
yeah, I will be honest with you, and I did let my emotions get the best of me. I did kind of violate the order to go to the street, and I went to the orphanage to make sure they were okay, and they all happened to be successfully evacuated. I apologize for the disobedience, but my emotions got the best of me on that one.
Hey, we held him off,
He went
man.
Mama
I
Bear.
pat him on the back.
He went Mama Bear, and I quote, "Where are my children?"
My children were safe.
Kenjiro nods. He says, I mean, it's an understand. I mean, I'm not gonna say anything about that, but I will say that probably isn't gonna look good to other people.
I understand. And I am okay with the consequences that it will bring.
He nods. Fair enough. Well, in any case, I'm just glad they're okay. I mean, that's what matters. All right. I'll leave you guys here then. I'm gonna head back to the sort of command center, try to help out. You guys just stick around here. Keep it safe like you've been doing. Sound good?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Aye, Captain.
We'll wait for you tomorrow.
He nods. He says, "Stay safe," and he gives sort of a respectful bow to one of the monks nearby. He says, "Thanks for all your help too. You guys are doing the job that the ninja should be doing right now." He lets out a sigh and heads off. In the morning, the monks do offer to sort of spell you as night creeps closer. Would any of you like to sleep? Not. This isn't for more. This is more for story purposes, as opposed to like you're gonna get a long rest either way.
So what do you mean spell us?
I mean, like, give you guys a chance to sleep, rest your eyes.
I will.
Yeah.
I will stay up. since I'm still worried about my children. I think that's what easy to do.
I mean, I would not have full health, and I was quite beaten up, so I would definitely be cuddling Than as I've rested.
I kind of want to stay up. Why not?
Okay. Suiko and Izuto sort of keep their eyes peeled throughout the night, standing watch with the monks at the temple entrance. No further attacks come, though, and morning finally arrives. A couple hours pass beyond dawn, and Kenjiro eventually comes back. He gives everyone the all clear, and you guys begin escorting villagers and civilians back to either their homes or to hastily constructed, mostly by Earth release, sort of refugee-ish camps or emergency camps, emergency shelters, as a lot of buildings have been ruined, or at least a number of them. The orphans are successfully delivered back to the orphanage. The rest of the civilians, like I said, you guys escort them to wherever they need or want to go. With that, and your mission concluded, you guys each head back to your respective homes, as it takes about another day for things to truly sort of reach the semblance of normalcy again in Konoha. You each receive a message about midday the following day, asking you to appear before the mission assignment desk at your earliest possible convenience. Which one of you would like to go first?
I can go first.
Okay.
So yeah, I guess after the long day of rest, I'd be good. So then I'll just go to.
Yeah, you got a full night's rest. Where did I? Oh, there it is. So you all are asked to wait outside the mission assignment desk. And each of you are called in one by one, with Izuto going first. He's very big, Izuto.
I'm big.
Chonky Izuto.
As you appear before the three proctors of the Chunin exam. And I forgot to mention, during your day off, you were each visited by Onbu, who basically just collected your version of events and what you did the night of the attack, or night and day of the attack. Basically, you get the sense they're trying to gather a complete picture of what happened.
Please tell me my guy was the one that poisoned me.
Curiously enough, it was very hard for you to tell. You were like
Dang.
50-50. You're like, maybe not.
Okay.
I mean, they have the masks, so
Yeah,
it's
true,
always...
true.
In any case, Aburabe Kaga looks up as you enter and he says, "Hello, Izuto. Do you have anything to add to your report that you gave to the Onbu yesterday? Any additional information or things you want to mention?"
As how it pertains to the event, I gave the Onbu specialist that came to my place of residence everything that goes with the event. As opposed to, I guess, the girl in question, the one that turned into the giant dragon. As far as I know, she actually seems kind of competently nice sometimes when she's not in combat. She has a necklace, but again, you guys should probably know more about this than I do, but I don't know if it's controlling her or something like that. She is an orphan, but kind of other than that, that's mostly all I know.
Okay. Do you describe... Actually, never mind. Okay. Kaga nods, and he says, we'll keep that in mind. Oh, these guys are not. Just saying, let me put
We
their...
acknowledge that this guy has 324 health.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say, is I need to put their... These are old stat blocks there.
I was like, that's so
I
I mean, these guys are all the clan heads of their respective clans.
That makes sense. That checks out.
I suppose it would add up.
Kaga says, I see. We appreciate that information, and I imagine you'll be interviewed in the following days. It seems that you've had the most interaction with her before she transformed into what she transformed into. But that's good to know. So just try to think back on you'll probably want every word that came out of her mouth that you can remember. But that's not the purpose of this. This purpose is to render a judgment on whether or not we feel that you have gotten to a point that you deserve the rank of Chunin.
Understood.
He looks over at Narada. Narada says, "You did very well in the first preliminary exam. Your knowledge and foresight were very impressive. Your ability to read other people, the trust that you instilled on your fellow test takers was impressive. I would say that you would be deserving to pass on that basis if that was the only thing we considered." Kaga nods. He says, "Thank you, Proctor Narada. My judgment of your exploits in the second preliminary exam was that you performed very impressively. Your team got more scrolls than anyone else in the Chunin exam. You managed to defeat a Jonin, or at least bloody him, force him to take the fight seriously, to gain one of the scrolls. You managed to survive ambushes, and you always came out on top, regardless of the situation. If the Chunin exam was only based off of that, I would say that you passed." He looks over at Azura. Azura nods and says, "Well, the first round, you did quite well. The preliminary. I, of course, put an early stop to the fight, but it was clear to everyone involved that you would have won. However, moving from the first round to the second round, you failed to take into account any changes that the enemy might have had in strategy, and you appeared not to change your strategy in response. You became predictable, which I think is what led to your defeat."
I would agree.
She says, "If it was only based on that second round, I would say that you would have failed. If it was only based on the first, I would say you would have passed." Kaga nods and says, "Unfortunately, Izuto, we have to take into consideration the events of yesterday and the previous days after the attack in place of the final rounds or of the tournament of the Chunin exam. We find that your abdication of duty, even though it was born of the right place, born of a good heart, a ninja is not, their purpose is not to have a good heart. Their purpose is to follow orders and accomplish missions. It is for that reason, and for your failure to change strategies in the second Chunin exam, or a second round of the Chunin exam,
Literally
that we
gets
have
carried
decided
by siblings.
to keep your rank as Genin."
Damn.
Fully accept the consequences of what I've done, and I think your decision has merit to it, and I will accept it without too much. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't upset, but I would accept it without too much, hard feelings about it.
Kaga nods and says,
Wait,
"For
does
what
that
it's
mean
worth,
Suiko won't get
Izuto,
it either?
I think the next Chunin exam you take, I would be shocked if you did not pass it."
Does
I
that
give a
mean
soft
Suiko
chuckle and
didn't
just
get
go,
it?
I think I agree.
I wonder why I won't get it, because I didn't.
Could you
like,
send in
commit to
Arata and
my
Suiko,
team.
please?
Yeah, no
As
problem.
a duo, did
And
we
I go
both get
ahead
it?
and
Wait,
call
why
them.
didn't Suiko get it? That's
Okay.
weird.
You wait outside as Suiko and Arata enter. You guys can place yourselves on the map, you know.
Yeah, I was gonna
We-
grab my
yeah.
thing.
Make it easy on your old DM here.
I'm
Big.
big.
The only thing we can't do is change our size, which is kind of annoying.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I can do that. At least.
We can spin
Oh!
ourselves.
We can't spin ourselves.
Well, that's a good thing, though.
That's what's important.
Yeah.
If I ever
That's
get
fine.
knocked down, just know I will be turning myself sideways.
Please
What's up,
keep
guys?
saying that big. Oh my god, he's magic.
He can fly.
So I can do that.
The proctors regard you guys as you enter. Kaga says they repeat most of the same stuff as most of the stuff that you guys did was the same, at least in the second round. Narada points out Suiko's impressive handling of the betting of the preliminary exam. And even Arata did respectably well. He did above average. For the third round, Arata managed to successfully determine an enemy that was just about 50-50 with him, which was the goal of the assignment. Suiko, not so. However, her due to bravery and the heroics that both of you displayed during the crisis that came afterwards, Kaga gives you both a nod and he says, the decision has been made to promote you both to Chunin.
Well, thank you. I appreciate this.
He says,
Fan is yipping happily.
it's not a matter of thanks. You earned it. Unfortunately, as you'll soon learn, your squad mate Izuto did not pass the judgment. He is still a Genin.
Well, why didn't he make Chunin?
Yeah, are we allowed to ask?
Kaga shrugs and says, you're allowed to ask. We're not required to answer. You'll have to ask him about that. It's his prerogative to talk about it if he wants to.
That's
All
fair.
right.
That said,
Well,
we're not quite done here. And he calls Izuto. He wants you back in.
Do I hear him?
Yeah, I
Do
mean,
I hear him?
Okay.
I imagine you probably overheard the conversation a little bit too.
Okay.
Kaga says, there's a bit of a situation, as I imagine you're curious about. We've been studying the attack that occurred, trying to gather what evidence we can. That said, there's a special mission that, has been... The Hokage has approved, he says, looking a little uncomfortable. He says, we'll be leaving you here now. Just wait for a couple minutes. The two people in charge of your mission will be by shortly.
All right.
that.
Thank you.
All right.
I say inquisitively.
They each leave the room. Like I said, Kaga looking somewhat uncomfortable, but he doesn't say anything else.
You know,
Well,
he
that
talks
doesn't
a
make
lot for
well
now,
good.
Prame. When they leave, I kind of turn to Izuto and I'm like, yo, what happened?
Me too. I'll look at him. What's up?
I guess I don't like kids.
What do you mean?
No, I went for the orphanage instead of following the mission, and they perceived that to be kind of bad, I guess, for the ninja way. Like Kenjiro said, it'd be looked down upon, and I understood. So I accept my consequences. It is what it is.
I guess that's stupid. I mean, we all agreed to it. Like, we were fine with you going to check on him.
Yeah, why
dumb.
didn't you punish me? I also went with you.
I kind of have a sad look, but I tried to smile through it and just go, "No worries, I'll just speed run the next Chunin exams. It's not like they'll be that difficult."
Well, hey, you know what? We'll be cheering you on from the bleachers.
Thanks, guys.
No problem.
Kind of a humble brag, but all right.
All right, as you guys conclude your conversation there, Kenjiro enters the room. He sort of puts a briefcase down on the table and starts pulling out papers. He says, all right, guys. Well, first up, Arata.
What's up?
Can you just confirm something real quick? People said that they saw you leaving the village a few weeks back. This was before the Chunin exam, actually. You went with some of those songbird circle people, yeah?
Yeah, I did.
He nods. All right. So we got a bit of a situation on our hands.
All right.
He claps his hands together and says, so we've investigated those terracotta things, those statues. Well, things aren't looking good. So we determined that the jade that was used on some of them, some of the more powerful ones. That's definitely from a mine in Iwa. That's the land of the village hidden in the earth.
Mm-hmm.
There are seals inside of them that were moving them, all made with Kiri paper, land of the village hidden in the mist. The weapons were clearly forged in the land of lightning, and the tags and like consumables that they were using, like breaching tags that they used a lot of at the start,
Mm-hmm.
those were all from the village hidden in the sands. So, as you can imagine, tensions are pretty high right now. Um, we can't ignore this evidence, or the Hokage can't. Um, he doesn't want another war. I don't think anyone wants that, but he's got to respond to this. And he has to follow the evidence that he's given. That said, we find the Songbird Circle very suspicious. It just appeared out of nowhere, and then this attack happened. And there's another voice in the Hokage's ear, and that voice has suggested that, well, I'll let her explain. As he says that, the woman that you saw earlier walks in.
Pug.
She gives you sort of a small wave, and she says, hello, all of you. My name is Isato. We didn't really get a chance to introduce ourselves last time.
As soon as I hear her name, I like perk up because Kenjiro told me about her when I was asking about the medical stuff.
Oh, hey, you have similar names. I'm Mizuto.
She says, well, I'm sure we'll get along great.
I walk up and like go to shake her hand like very very enthusiastically. I'm like, hey, I've heard about you. Like I heard you're really good at medical ninjutsu. Just like just very very ecstatic to see her.
She gives sort of a wry smile and a knowing glance at Kenjiro as you say that. She shakes her hand though. She says, well, yes, Arata. I'm glad you think so highly of my medical ninjutsu. I'm glad you've heard of me.
Oh yeah, of course. So move over here.
In any case, like Kenjiro was saying, and I have reason to believe this as well, I've been gone from the village for a while. I won't go into all that I saw during my adventures, but I do believe the Songbird Circle is a more significant threat than people think. That said, they seem to employ some sort of genjutsu that makes it very hard to remember them. For example, Arata, can you remember anyone that you talked to at the Songbird Circle when you went?
Well, I mean,
just to answer for you, you cannot remember.
okay. I was gonna say like very vaguely.
You remember the celestial songbird, hearing that
Yeah.
inside of the tent. You don't remember anything regarding the guy that you spoke to.
Okay, gotcha. I do not remember any of it. They were fairly nice, at least to me. They kind of said they were like giving me advice, and I heard some voices, and I assumed it was some work of genjutsu, but they made it out to be like it was a god speaking to me.
Isato looks a little bit troubled, and she says, well, I don't know if it was a god, but I don't think it's genjutsu either. That said, I've developed a breaking technique. Traditional attempts at memory modification that people have tried at the hospital, at my request, of course, have not seemed to work on anyone else who went to the Songbird Circle. But I've come up with something that I think might be effective in your special case, Arata.
Okay, I'm all ears.
She says, are you familiar with sort of the structure of the brain?
I would say not particularly, if I'm going to be honest with you. That's not in my wheelhouse.
She pats the back of her head and she says, the brain's divided into a few different parts. Most significantly, in our case, Arata, the brainstem is where some of the more ancient senses are located, specifically smell.
Okay.
And you and Inuzuka clan tend to have very powerful, that area of your brain is particularly active, given your heightened senses of smell.
I do like to think my nose is pretty good.
So my thought is that if the memory modification, it likely doesn't focus on that part of the brain um, because it doesn't need to. But if we try to activate it, we might be able to restore some synapses and restore whatever memories you might have had, you might have lost due to these people's genjutsu.
Yeah, hey, I'm willing to try whatever I need to help out.
She grins and says, "Well, I am not going to lie to you. This is not without risks. It's a new technique that I've just developed. I haven't had a chance to test it on any living subjects, and it is messing with your brain."
I start to look a little more uneasy than I previously was. So what does this new thing entail exactly?
She says, "Oh, it's just medical ninjutsu. The technique itself, similar techniques have been used on other parts of the brain. I've just never heard of anything particularly like this being done. Um, new in application, not new in concept, you might say."
Gotcha. Okay. So let's say we were to do this. Could I then learn medical ninjutsu? Is that like a thing that could happen? Hmm?
All right, bud.
He looks confused for a moment. She says, "No, this is to restore your memories. This
Of
will
course,
not
of
give you."
course. Right. I just wanted to make sure. I just want to make sure though. You know, it's worth a shot.
She looks over at Kenjiro, sort of Kenjiro just shrugs and shakes his head. Um, she says, "Well, in any case, like I said, I'll need your consent. Uh, Frankly, the younger you are, the less likely something like this is to cause damage, which is why I've sort of I'm more inclined to try it on you than I would be another member of your clan. And also, you're the only one who has had confirmed contact with the Songbird Circle."
All right. Well, sounds like we don't have much other choice, so I'm willing to allow it.
She nods and gives you a little bow, and she says, "I'm humbled by your faith in me. I promise I'll do my very best."
God, I hope so.
She looks over at Kenjiro, and Kenjiro nods. She asks you to turn around and sort of reveal the back, like just sort of bend your head over like you're getting a haircut.
Okay. I will follow her instructions accordingly.
Okay. Um, Izuto and Suiko, you guys see her weave some hand signs as this sort of green medical chakra glow appears in her hands, sharp like a scalpel. Um, the lights begin to flicker a little bit at a fairly intense outpouring of chakra. Even you can sort of feel it, Arata, just sort of the intense pressure from relative rank and amount of chakra that's being used in this jutsu.
Okay.
She closes her eyes and places a hand at the back of your head. It's cold, then warm, then cold again. And Arata, you do remember the vague sensation and like vague recollection of who you talked to. He gave his name as Oriole, like the bird.
Okay.
Beyond that, you don't remember too much about him. However, you have a sense, it's kind of like smell that you're so familiar with, but different. This is more of a chakra scent that you now have learned. And what's more, you can smell it where you are right now.
Okay.
Faint, distant, but you feel like you could follow it if you wanted to.
Okay. Am I able to talk in this situation? I don't know if I'm like if she's like
You're
cutting into
fine.
me. Or...
She takes her hand off the back of your head, and looks down at you, sort of concerned. She says, Arata, can you hear me?"
Yeah. I like snap to, and I immediately look at her and I just go like Oriole, just like really loudly as I like remember this person. Do I remember his face at all? Like just kind of him as a person.
Curiously, you remember his like his face is still a blank, and you remember. You can remember every other aspect about him, like you know how tall he is, you know his like hair color and stuff like that. But it's like his face was like blurred out in your memory somehow.
Okay, gotcha. Then yeah, I go into detail explaining body size and like everything I can, but his face is just like I can't quite get there. But there's also just this weird scent that I remember, and I'm even getting hints of it now as we speak.
Isato looks over at Kenjiro, uh, and she looks like sort of a little concerned, but like also kind of excited. She says, "It worked, even the side effect that I mentioned." Kenjiro nods and says, "Yeah, so apparently, Arata, this thing it can really enhance your well sense of smell, and you can apparently well, I don't really know the details of it, but you can sort of scent chakra um, if someone has well injected chakra into you. Uh, so
I immediately look at Isato and I was like, is this a permanent thing?
um, she nods and says, "Yes, but it should only affect. You should only be able to scent people who have really like poured a lot into you.
Okay.
For example, if I did like a whole surgery on you or something, you'd probably be able to chakra scent me after that."
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely so can I smell where this is coming from? Or
Yeah.
like general like vague direction.
Yeah, you get a vague direction. I mean, it's just like normal tracking.
Okay, yeah. I immediately look to Kenjiro and I'm like, so are we going after this guy or what?
Kenjiro grins and says, "Well, we've got to inform the Hokage first. But I
Such a
suppose
bore.
Isato can handle that." And Isato nods and says, "I can get it approved. Um, you guys should head out as soon as possible. Unfortunately, I won't be able to join you just yet, as the
Damn it!
Hokage won't let me leave because he's an idiot. But don't worry.
You know, I'm really starting to like you, Isato.
Me too.
Isato says, "Well, people always like doctors when the treatment works out. Anyway,
Well, fair.
I'll get the Hokage to approve it. You guys should head out now, as opposed to waiting. Also, once you're gone, I mean, he can't exactly say no."
Hey, ask for forgiveness, not permission.
That's right.
She nods. That's always been my philosophy. It hasn't always served me well, but I think it will in this case.
All right, well, I'm down.
Kenjiro nods and says, "All right, we should all head out then. Do you guys all have anything you need to? Do we need a quick shopping trip before we leave, or do you guys have what you need?"
I stay stuck.
I mean,
I'm good. I'm good to go.
Okay.
I do need to shop, but like we can just, say that I went there, right?
Also, I'm gonna go ahead and like mark this dude because I know his name now as my primary target, so I get advantage on investigation and survival checks to get information about him.
Okay. Good to know.
I just give a soft side. I was like, I was really wishing I could keep Thanatos after that one, but unfortunately, you stay with Arata for now, and I give him a little pet. All right, where are we going, guys?
Oil.
I start sniffing in the air. What direction am I feeling?
I mean, we'll get to that as you guys begin to move.
Okay.
Yeah. You'll be leaving the village. So, with that, you guys bid Isato farewell. I'll say, I mean, if you're gonna shop, you kind of need to do it before you leave the village.
We can go to the shop real quick.
Yeah, we can go. Let's see what we got.
God, what page is the shop on?
I'll just get a few consumables.
Yeah. Hey, Shizuki!
So,
We're
you
fast.
guys arrive at the shop with Shisugi. You see outside of it is a number of terracotta warriors that appear to have been torn apart and blown up. Shisugi, she sort of jolts to attention as you guys enter. She says, "Oh, just you guys. Things are a bit out of order here right now, but I suppose I can spend time since all 5 of you are here, which is a little unusual. What do you
Oh,
want?
Kenjiro came with us.
Yeah, I mean, he's sticking with you now.
That's right. Arata, do you know what you want?
Shisugi, do you happen to have any poisons on hand?
Um, Shisugi looks a little skeptical, and she says, "We do. They typically have to be specially authorized, though.
Right. What do you mean by that?
I mean, you have to have a permit. Like, only Anbu usually end up using poisons."
I mean, we both know I have been Onbu trained, though, so, we could kind of cut a little something, something.
She looks skeptical, and she says, "I mean, what do you want? Because I could sell you stuff, but if it's something too big, I could get in trouble."
Honestly, I was just seeing if you had any ether on hand.
Let me check.
If you're wondering, it's the non-combat one that you can use to like manipulate and charm people.
Okay. She says, "I am so skeptical of giving you this."
And you know what? That's fair, Shisugi. But what if I make you a deal? If we happen to come across any other chakra crystals, like the ones I gave you before, they're all yours.
She looks skeptical for a moment. She says, "Did you guys happen to get the results of the tuning exam?"
Say that again. I didn't hear the question.
There's an echo, I think, on one of you. Oh, maybe not. She says, "Did any of you get the results of your tuning exams yet, or have they gotten around to that?"
Yeah. Me and Suiko made Chunin, and honestly, Izuto got robbed out of it. It was kind of stupid.
All good, no worries. I say still extremely depressed on the inside.
She nods and says, "Well, since you are tuning now, I'd get in less trouble than I would selling something like this to a Genin, I suppose.
Yes.
I'll give you one dose of it."
Sounds good to me. That's all I need. And I dropped the Ryu on the table.
Okay.
Hey, Shisugi, how's the necklace going?
Necklace?
Yeah, I gave you the sapphire necklace with the chakra crystals. You said you could make it better.
Oh, yeah, you gave that to her. Okay. She is still working on that, I'm gonna say. There's not enough time.
All right. Because you said after the shooting exams, but I guess to be fair, the giant terracotta warriors and lions might have halted that a little bit.
Yeah, she says, if you wait a few days, I could probably fix that up for you, but...
So
I'll get it. I'll get it when we come back.
Whenever you say one thing of ether, is that like the 2 bulk with 2 uses per thing?
Yeah.
Okay. I am good, Suiko.
Yeah, I'm just gathered. I want the reinforced Chunin jacket. I can get that now, right?
She nods and says, "I've had one all prepared for you in preparation for the end of the tuning exam."
You do be a tuning
I
guy.
love her so much. She's great. I love you, Shisugi.
Must be
The
nice.
best.
Anything to keep my favorite Genin, or Chunin now, safe.
Woo!
God,
Okay,
I just want her to like me.
I also... Oh, God. Why do I gotta separate these things? Just keep it all on the same page, you know?
That's true. Everything should be on the same page.
The entire book should be 1 page. I'll say it.
It's
It's
okay,
like
I got my...
Naruto, except D&D 2.
Okay, Jesus Christ, why am I not... Why did she feel...
I guess I could get a greater blood pill.
Okay, What the hell?
I'm good.
I will go
Where-
ahead and do the easy one. I am getting one greater blood pill, one greater chocolate
What
pill,
page
and
is
two
that?
blood pills.
What page?
134.
134. Jesus. And then I was on 150 and ugh, God.
If 134 doesn't hit it, just scroll down a little bit because it depends where
Okay.
you
Okay. There we go. All right. And then. Oh, antidote kit. That's kind of fun. Okay. Okay, what did you get? You got 2 greater blood pills, you said?
I got one greater blood pill, which is 2. That's how we're doing it.
Okay. Okay.
One greater chocolate pill, and I got 2 blood pills.
Okay. I
And
will.
I will mat that out and subtract it from my thing.
Okay, I'm gonna get 1 greater blood pill and a greater chocolate pill as well. Trying to. I'm literally typing this into a calculator.
Sounds good. You can take off 5% for the Suico discount.
Hell yeah. Okay. Hold on.
I don't want to use my money because I need poisons, but I want to use my money. I'm so conflicted.
And then you know what? For funsies, I'm gonna get a shock bomb because why not? And then I'm done.
Shisugi grins and says, I hope you're planning on using this for a prank.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay,
Things I
and
do.
then I am done.
Okay. So you guys mark off the Ryu and add whatever items you bought to your inventories. Kenjiro sort of leans forward. He says, well, and for me, Shisugi, I'll just take a quick peck on the cheek. Shisugi looks over at him, glaring, and just blows a bunch of smoke into his face.
Put him in a genjutsu and make him go hit himself against the wall.
Got him. I'm
She
like,
says,
Kenjiro.
it's a good thing your squad is much more likable than you are. And Kenjiro sort of, ow. And he walks off and says, whenever you guys are ready, I'll be outside.
Yeah, it's taking the walk of
I
shame.
follow him.
So yeah, I proceed to walk
Bye,
out.
Chisugi.
Yeah, I proceed to walk
Bye,
out.
Shisugi.
Bye, Shisugi.
I-
Thank you for the ether. I won't tell
Bye,
them you gave it to me.
Shisugi. You're my favorite, Shisugi. Bye.
She waves goodbye and she says, stay safe out there.
Ooh.
With the shopping concluded, you guys begin following Arata's news.
Bro, so for every pill that you got, just make sure you count it as 2 instead of 1.
Okie doke.
Because I have 2 uses, but it's kind of I don't know. I just mark it as multiple of that one. It's the same.
Yeah, I mean, however you guys want to keep track of it, I'm okay with. You begin heading south, fresh on the trail, heading through the forested areas of the Land of Fire, further and further south, until you get finally to the coastline. As you travel, you feel like you've learned a lot from the tuning exams, and you get just enough practice time in to kind of make some breakthroughs in terms of what jutsu you have and some of your latent potential and abilities, just for the purposes of the level up. However, you guys arrive at a small port town. Place you guys on the map here.
The solid black map's my favorite.
Yeah, so. Yay! My armor class.
Ooh, this place is cool.
Oh, what's your armor class now, Suiko?
I got another +1 for my jacket, so it would be 16 now, right?
I have it as 17 already.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Fisherman.
Alright. What, so then would it be 18 by now?
That sounds right.
Okay, because.
Let's see, it's 10 plus half your proficiency mod, plus your dex, and then plus whatever armor bonus you get.
Plus whatever armor bonus I get. Okay.
As you guys approach the barrier here, you see that a section of the bridge has been lifted up by a little rope mechanism. What would you guys like to do?
What's happening with the bridge? I'm confused. Like, is it not broken? Like, what's happening with it?
No, a section of it has sort of been lifted away, kind of like a drawbridge.
Okay, gotcha. And do I, like, is the chakra smell pretty heavy? Like, are we getting a lot closer?
I mean, you're definitely on your way.
Okay. I mean,
Call for them to bring the bridge down.
You're breaking the bridge down?
No. Call for them to bring it down. You said it's a drawbridge,
Your
right? So I guess call for
property
them to
damage,
bring
what?
it down.
Okay, so Izuto, you call for the guy over there to lower the bridge.
Yeah.
Make a Constitution check.
I guess, bro. I didn't know it was this complicated. Maybe I don't want him to bring it down.
Okay. So you call him, and he's like reading a book. You see him like reading, sort of kneeling in the shade or resting in the shade there. He doesn't appear to hear you.
I kind of I turn to Kenjiro and I'm like, hey, do you know where we are right now?
Kenjiro, he says, yeah, it's a small port town. I don't remember the name though.
Okay. Are we allowed to just kind of hop the bridge, or do you know if they'll get mad at us?
Kenjiro shrugs and says, I mean, what are they gonna do?
Hey, when you're right, brother. To which I immediately grab Dan on my shoulder and go to hop over.
Kenjiro is about to hop over, and he says, "Oh wait, well, Suiko, you like to go ahead and go first, or maybe Izuto actually."
First.
Let's go. Easy. Hey, you are the guinea of the team, so sorry. Sorry, was that too soon? I'm so sorry.
Too soon. Okay.
Kenjiro shakes his head. He says, "Hirata, come on, this is fun. Okay, this is good fun."
You're right. I'm sorry. I was a little rude.
I'm going first. I'm going first.
Would you like to try to jump across, or try to sort of balance your way along the flanks of it?
I assume that would require dexterity, so no, let me jump.
While she's debating on what to do, I literally just being a little ticked off by the erotic comment. I literally just grow out my wings and fly over and call him a peasant as I'm doing it.
Okay.
All right, and then immediately afterwards, I want to jump.
All right, I would make an athletics check, Suiko.
I
Cool.
mumble under my breath as he flies off. Yeah, okay, guinea.
God.
You're gonna get in real trouble.
I didn't say that loud enough for
I'll
you to
be
hear.
honest.
I didn't say that loud enough for
I'll
you to
be
hear.
honest with you.
I also want to be clear that Arata firmly believes you should be a chunin.
I don't care.
Acrobat. Oh, athletics. Okay. Found it. Okay.
Okay, yeah. Suiko, you jump across without much issue.
All right, well,
Kenjiro looks disappointed. He says, "All right, well, this wasn't as much fun as I had hoped," and he just jumps across.
it is what it is. I get Than to hop on my shoulder, and I try to go across the beam, I suppose, kind of walk across it.
Can I try to make him fall in?
You absolutely can.
Oh, Izuto, no. Izuto, no. Stop. You're better than
I don't think you know what he's doing, to be clear.
You have chakra
I
hands.
see the look in his eye.
I do have my chakra hands. My chakra hands consistently try to.
Than is
Like,
on my
push
shoulder.
him
Would
off,
you do this
and
to
then
Than? Would you?
I
do this
don't
to-
care about either of you anymore. I try to push him
Oh,
off, and then
not
if
the
he
dog. No.
if he does
No.
fall off, my
All
chakra
right.
hands will go after Dan.
Arata, roll an acrobatics check at disadvantage.
Okay.
Also, you can't see the chakra hands, so you don't know I'm doing this.
Okay. Oh, good lord. Aw, so good on the
So-
second one.
with all of a sudden, Arata, you're just
Uh-huh.
walking along.
Have you used these before, Izuto?
I don't
Like,
think
have
I
I-
have actually. I
Okay.
have them. I've used them to push someone off. When I was talking.
I was
to
wondering if I would
Oh,
know what happened.
No,
Is what I'm
no,
asking.
no. I have
Okay.
pushed you off with them before at the springs when I was talking to Naki, but you were worried about Than.
Oh, that's right.
I
That's
don't-
right.
Yeah, so I don't think you would have known.
Okay.
So Arata, you feel a sudden like sort of tug at your sleeve, and you tumble to the right into the water.
Like I said, my
Are you
chakra hands
happy,
will
Kenjiro?
when they fall, my chakra hands will try to pick up Than.
Kenjiro sort of puts his hand in his face. He says, "It wasn't supposed to be like this."
Sorry,
You
guys.
started this, Kenjiro. This is your fault. You wanted this. I'm leaving. I'm going ahead.
Sorry, guys. Guess Students
Deal
can
with
swim
the
though.
children. Deal with the children on your own.
As
Kenjiro-
I. Alright, you go.
Kenjiro says, "Izuto, help him out."
So I go and pick up Than, and then I go along my merry way.
What's up, old
I
man?
kind of I swim up and I'm just like, what? Did y'all see that? And something just grabbed me. That was terrifying.
Yeah, that's crazy, huh? Anyway,
I just swim over to the beach, I suppose.
learn how to fly, Chunin.
As you say that, Suiko, the guy finally looks up, and he blinks and he says, "Oh, hello there. What are you?
Hi. Wait, sorry. What did he ask me?
Are you visitors?" Is what he said.
Yeah, we're visiting. Can you tell us the name of the town? Anything interesting?
He says, "No, there's no steak here. We deal in fish mostly."
What? I'm
I love
sorry.
fish.
He
All right.
He says, "Oh, it's all right. I'm here
I'm
to."
like, all right. Izuto, you handle this.
How do I handle it?
I don't know.
I'm
but
still
moving
drying
on.
off. I'm still drying off.
Sorry, what am I trying to handle here?
Figure it out.
Literally don't know what's going on. Okay.
His eyes sort of narrow at you for a moment, Izuto, and he points at you and he says, "Oh, you're from the land of wind."
I'm hovering with giant dust wings. Yeah, I am.
He sort of squints and he says, "You have the wrong headband on."
It's a long story, orphan and all that. You know how it is.
No, I don't. We don't really eat porridge around here.
Right. So, listen, I can. I'm not gonna say that to him. Yeah, no problem. Anyway, love fish, love porridge. Have a good one, man.
He looks confused, but he says, "Stay out of trouble now. Be careful with those things."
What was that?
Is
We
he
don't.
being-
We
Is he
don't.
being
we don't-
affected by something weird, or is he just like entirely?
What was
Yeah.
that? We don't have chicken in the land of fire. No, sorry.
Yeah.
He looks confused as you walk away. As you guys enter the town there, Kenjiro sort of hangs back with Arata, and he says, "Hey, maybe cool it with the Genin stuff, okay? Izuto, he's a little temperamental."
Yeah, I know, and I think he deserved tuning. I just wanted to make the riff while I could. I'm sure he'll be getting tuning soon.
Okay, just team composition. We're team.
That's fair.
Team.
You're right. I'll try not to make too many more comments.
And I'm
By the way,
with
Can I
you,
get
and
did
I'm
you
like,
see something grab me by the way back there, Kenjiro? Because I don't know what happened.
Kenjiro, he looks very confused for a moment. He's sort of wide-eyed, and he says, "Oh, I don't know. Karma's a real thing, I guess."
I guess so. I'll just keep
And
walking.
while they're talking to Suiko, like, I swear to God, if he calls me again in one more time, I will challenge him to a duel right here and now, and my tiger will eat his goddamn dog.
You leave Than out of this, okay? You can have Arata. Leave Than out of this, okay?
No, but if I kill him, then you can have the dog.
That's fair. That's fair. This is fair.
All right, I guess at this point I wouldn't have much of my dust wings left because I will.
Do they dissipate over time?
I don't. It says duration up to 1 minute, but I don't know what that means. Like, or concentration up to
So
1
you can
minute.
concentrate on it up to a minute.
So that means that they last a minute.
If you concentrate on it, yeah.
Okay, for the last I guess remaining of it, because I know some of my other stuff has that. That's fine. For the last I guess couple of it, I'll go ahead and fly up and kind of observe the area, see if there's any points of interest, and then come down before it ends.
You don't want to fall down.
Not particularly.
I guess. Yeah, I mean, you can't get high enough really to get over the hills because I mean they're relatively high. They're like
That's
60, 50 feet or something. But yeah, you just get the sense that this is sort of a cove, a town nestled in sort of a cove area. Most of the buildings on the hill here, except for this area, is sort of the marketplace, which is near the shore. You see fishermen, you see merchants, sort of townspeople going about their daily routines. You see a guy who appears to be sort of manning a lighthouse, which is obviously not operational right now. It's operational at night. You see some kids are sort of running around playing. You see these strange fish statues sort of dotting the landscape, sort of grown over with moss and mold and very old. You see some, boats anchored to the little.
I got you. So basically, what is there now? Just kind of where it is, I guess.
Yeah.
I got you.
So did you see anything cool up there, Izuta?
And I turn my direction to Suiko and Kenjiro and just go, no, just I saw some boats and stuff when I flew up there. And then I kind of give them the quick rundown of kind of where everything is, but not really anything of important detail, or not anything of key interest, I guess. Would be the
Gotcha.
better wording for that.
Kenjiro,
Arata, did you say something?
looks...
God, you can hold a grudge, huh?
All right, important stuff, Kenjiro says. Arata, I mean, you said... Please tell me the scent doesn't end here.
Do I still smell it? I'm assuming it's still going.
You follow it up this way.
Okay.
Right up to the shoreline, and there it ends.
Yeah, I mean it ends right here, Kenjiro. I don't know. I don't smell it anymore.
Kenjiro
Took a boat.
puts his hand in his face and nods and says, "Yep, Suiko was quite correct. They took a boat."
Oh yeah, boat time.
Okay.
Here we go.
I'll say, do we happen to see anyone that looks like they would be the owners of the boats, or would it just be these fishermen right here?
Yeah, you look and they appear to own the boats. The fishermen there.
Right.
Who do we ask them if they remember a guy they can't remember?
Well, I mean, it's worth a shot. So I'm gonna walk over there. As I walk over there, as I'm passing Izuto, I'm like, hey man, I'm sorry about the comments. Okay, I want to be clear. I think you should have been a Chunin, and I will stop pointing it out. It's my bad.
I'm crouched down, patting Than.
All right.
God,
I just turn and walk off, and I'm like, alrighty. And I walk up to this closest fisherman. I'm just like, hey, how's it going?
He looks up at you and sort of takes some sweat off of his brow. He says, "Oh, going okay, decent haul. New to town, I take it. Hey, you're a shinobi."
Yeah, we're actually from the Hidden Leaf. We were just wondering because we're kind of following some stuff, looking for some people right now. Have y'all let anyone borrow a boat or sold any boats recently or anything like that to anyone?
He sort of looks at his fellows and he shakes his head. He says, "No, we've only got a couple boats here, and we definitely we still have them."
Gotcha. Is there anyone around here that does rent boats out or anything like that, or sell them?
He looks thoughtful for a moment, and he says, "Well, there's old man Buki, I guess." And he sort of points southwest.
Mm-hmm. This
There's
guy
an
over
old
here.
guy there doing some sort of strange routine with his little walking staff. It appears to be sort of like mimicking some sort of like fighting moves, but they look kind of unorthodox to say the least. He says, "Yeah, old man Buki's got a boat, but he hasn't been out to sea for, quite some time."
All right. Well, I'll go talk to him about it. Thanks. Appreciate the info.
It's
Old
been
man
good.
Buki sounds dope.
All right. As I walk over, I kind of explain to everyone what I heard. And I'm like, I am already still pretty wet from the last time I fell in the water, so I can swim over there if others would prefer not to.
You
Kenjiro sort
can't
of
walk?
Oh, well,
puts
I
up
guess
a
we could.
finger, and he says, "So, guys, we do have a bit of an issue here. Uh, I can't go on boats."
Speak on that.
Why?
Speak on that. Speak on that, Kenjiro. Speak on that.
What's the trauma behind that? Where's the story?
He says, "It's not trauma, it just I get seasick, okay?"
Well, that's fine. Just,
Well,
lay down and try to throw up on us.
let's get the info first, and then we'll go from there. Maybe they just took the boat, and we could get there by foot if we wanted. You never know.
Kenjiro nods and says, "Yeah, I'm sure that's it."
Okay,
And he
look,
sort of leans against the cart here.
I let out a loud sigh and start walking over.
Listen, I'll
Is
hold your
anyone
hair back
is
for
anyone
you,
gonna
alright?
follow me?
Yeah, I'll
sit
follow you. I
down
want to
next-
see what
I sit down next to Kenjiro.
Okay.
I want to know what's up with you.
I
everyone.
pick up Than on my shoulder as I go through. I guess me and Suiko walk over together.
Then
Yeah.
takes a lick of the water here and
Uh-huh.
immediately sort of spits it out.
All right, man.
Gross.
As he
That's
does that,
not
I'm like, all right, well, you stay here with these two. I'll go help. So I leave Than in the arms of Kenjiro Nizuto here.
Hey, buddy, it's salt water. You shouldn't drink that. For next
Yeah,
time.
yeah. Please don't let him drink
Then
any
he
more water. All right, I walk over to Suiko.
Old man Buki, what's up?
He looks up as you guys approach, and he sort of sticks out his little walking staff challengingly, and he says, they finally sent someone to take me down, eh?
Oh
Shinobi.
no.
Cost a pretty
No,
penny."
who's they? Who's they?
He sort of puffs himself up for a moment and he says, "Please, I'm Buki, sailor of the high seas, delver of the deeps. I've made many enemies in my long career."
Well,
Hell yeah, who's
hey.
the worst of your enemies?
He sort of strokes his chin thoughtfully and he says, "Well, there's the great pirate lords of the Sea of Gold. There's the
Oh,
land of water, the village hidden in the mists. I believe I
Oh.
penned with the
Do you mean the whole village? Like the whole village is your enemy?
well, I've defeated their Kage in ritual combat more than once, so I imagine they're out.
For sure, dude.
So I can't believe they'd stoop so low to send such young shinobi as yourself.
Hey, listen, we're not trying to fight, okay? And I definitely don't want to, okay? Sounds like you are clearly a very practiced combatant. We were really just stopping by to ask, because we talked to those fishermen earlier, and they were talking about you had a boat, and might have let someone borrow it or something like that.
Old Bambuki lets out like a derisive laugh. He says, "As though I would let anyone borrow the fair maiden."
Oh, well, of course, if you sold it or it, although I would imagine not, but did something like that happen by any chance?
Not for any price anyone would be willing to pay.
Of course, of
No,
course.
my boat is still safe and sound in the cove where I left her.
Oh, okay. Can you show us? Actually, we've been really curious about boats, so we've been wanting to look around, kind of get an idea of different options that we have.
I want to see the legendary boat of the
Of
Mighty
you.
Buki.
Like, yeah, that sounds
Yeah,
so awesome.
Okay, you can make a persuasion check.
Oh, both of us
are
are
we both
just.
doing one?
One of you, and then with advantage, as the other one was helping.
What's your persuasion?
Okay.
Mine is +0. So,
Hold on. I think I
at
I
the
got a
bottom.
whopping +2.
Well, we'll take your +2 with advantage then.
Even
All
if
right, watch
Barada
me get
had
a
plus
1.
5, I still would have let Suiko roll it.
Oh God, don't jinx me. Probably roll low.
You have advantage. We're fine. You can get one bad one.
You never
Not
rolled
bad.
it.
Not bad.
Oh,
Not bad.
I'll take that 19. Thank you.
Old Man Buki sort of puffs up a little bit, and he says, "You know, I can tell you're flattering me, but I'm okay with it."
There we go. That's my man.
Hey,
Yeah.
flattery or not, I would still love to see the boat.
He says, "Well, I'll go retrieve it. I recommend the stew in the marketplace. If you guys are waiting, uh, it's quite good, for rural food."
Okay, I'm down to try
Yeah.
that. Well, thanks. We'll go. Wait, is there somewhere we need to meet you?
He says, "I'll pull her around to the beach here."
All right, sounds good. Kind of.
You know,
Incredible. We
Kinda walk
look
back.
forward to it.
and he begins walking across the water as well, apparently having some degree of.
Okay, he's at least not a complete liar. Yeah. As you back, we.
By the way, Rada, love how you just wanted to swim over there. That's incredible.
Well, listen, I was already wet. Why waste the chakra? But yeah, as we get back, I kind of explain to everyone what's happening. And then as I explain it, I tell them that he recommended trying was it the stew?
It was the stew.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I was like, he recommended trying the stew, so I'm gonna go try that. If anyone would like to join me.
Me,
Kenjiro
I want to.
says, "You guys go for it. I'm gonna go talk to some people.
Hey, sounds good to me.
The situation is around here."
I pick up Than because I'm gonna get him some stew as well. So where do we go? Because there's quite a few merchants and stuff.
He did not specify.
I think I would have seen the giant pot of stew.
Yeah.
Correct
I
me if
mean,
I'm wrong
yeah.
while I was
Izuto probably would have. It
Okay.
is right.
So I just start walking towards there, not really saying anything.
Do y'all know where you're going? Are we just? Do you want me? Should I follow
Oh.
you? Everyone's okay.
Yeah, come here. Jesus Christ, come on, let's go find some stew.
Okay.
I go ahead and ask for some stew for the chef over here. Hey, how's it going?
Oh.
Well, I'm following you, Sugo,
Oh.
because you told me to follow you.
Okay. Fine. And then I follow Izuto because I'm like, oh damn, he knows.
Okay. The chef sort of looks you up and down, and he nods and says, finest stew in Tachi. Finest seafood stew in Tachi. 5 Rio."
I hand him the 5 Rio.
Okay. He gives you a generous portion in a bowl. Hands it to you.
I was like, knowing who I am and what I've been through, I'm sure I could have haggled, but I wasn't in the mood.
Okay.
I walk up as well, seeing that. I'm like, oh hey, we would like to try some as well.
He nods and sort of notes. He waves at Than, and he says, animals. It's a little pricey for animal food, but they love it."
Yeah, I mean, is there like a smaller portion by any chance, or is it just all the same thing?
He says, "Oh, he wouldn't want a smaller portion, would he?" It's an agreement.
All right. Well, I can't argue with Than, I suppose. So I hand him over the 10 Rio for the two bowls.
He hands 2 bowls, sort of setting one down for Than, giving him some pets as Than laps eagerly,
Of course.
clearing out the salty taste from the salt water that he attempted.
Do we get any cool benefits from food? Just as like a side note, not this one specifically.
No. Well, maybe. There are cooking men in the world, so
That's true.
True.
this is not cooking.
No, yeah, no. I didn't think
Yeah.
so. But yeah, that's right. There is a cooking subclass. I forgot about that.
He looks at Suiko and says, "And for you, lady?"
Yeah, I'll have a small bowl as well, please.
Okay. He gives you a bowl and 5 Rio, please.
Cool. I hand it over.
The stew is fairly spicy, clearly filled with a lot of different types of fish, and pretty good vegetables as well. I don't know how it would be to your characters' respective palates, but it's high quality seafood stew.
Heck
My
yeah.
character would, I think, really love it. Kizuto loves
I
it.
would freaking adore it to the point where I'm searching for more food. What's going on over here?
I think Arata would like
Um,
it.
They appear to be making different types of desserts at that area.
Gimme.
Okay.
Okay. There's a selection of cakes and pastries. They appear to be it's the sort of situation where they sell like on the street or whatever, but they also sort of prepare it and ship it off to other places as well.
Wait, I was gonna try to ask you something. Before Easy Toe
Excellent.
walked off, I was gonna ask if you saw any shops that looked of interest.
No, they kind of all had the things over them, so I couldn't really see them.
No.
Sorry.
Fair enough, makes sense. I'll
Knowing
walk
that
over.
I saw cool ones.
Gotja. Okay. All right.
I'm
Well,
just kidding. I'm just kidding.
So, Suiko, how much money would you like to spend on the desserts here?
All of it.
what's the
Uh,
most
all three-
expensive option?
3,000 Ryu.
They have
I'm a
pretty,
slap
they have
now.
pretty expensive options.
They have some expensive options.
Yeah.
What's the most expensive?
You see that they have like a little cake that's modeled in the shape of like this what appears to be like it's a fish, but it's clearly like some sort of like symbol. Like it's supposed to represent something. Um, it looks very
How
fancy.
much?
It is 50 Rio.
Sold.
All
They're
right.
surprised, but they do retrieve it sort of from the shelf, and it has like wrapping around it. They unwrap it and offer it to you with a plate and spoons and stuff. And they say it's traditional to offer the fish a little well, what would have been a sacrifice back in the day, but of course we don't do that now. You just put a little bead of chocolate in it instead, and they hand you a bead of chocolate. They shrug and say, "If you want to."
Hell yeah, I want to do that. I love tradition. Do it.
Okay.
I
You
offer the.
stick the bead of chocolate inside of the fish's little mouth. It sinks in to what is clearly a very fresh and moist cake.
Yes. Let me eat my cake.
Okay.
I'm so excited.
While she's eating her cake, I see the merchants have a problem here, and I offer them assistance.
Okay. Yeah. You see their mount there, Tsuru, which is the commonly used mount both in the land of wind and sort of in the southern regions. They adapt pretty well to more dry climates.
Just so I would know what it is.
Yeah, you would definitely know what it is. They say, yeah, well, he just freaked out like 2 days ago or so. He freaked out, and we can't figure out why. He tripped, and some of our melons here got spilled out. We can handle the melons, but if you can calm him down, we tried everything that we would know to do. But you're a ninja. I mean, aren't you an expert at like animal handling and stuff?
Too shabby at animal handling, and it's not my first creature like this, so I'll try.
Okay,
I'm
make an animal
so-
handling check.
I'm so sad.
What's going on over there?
Okay, well, as he's checking, I just walk around over here. I want to say I'm actively keeping an eye on the beach for when the boat arrives. But then I'm checking out these little merchant shops
Not
around me.
24?
No,
Oh, wait,
you
no,
didn't
that
roll.
wasn't at 24.
No, you didn't roll. You rolled 20 plus
No,
4.
yeah, you just
Oh,
yeah.
20 plus 4. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Damn, you pulled a me.
He did pull a Suiko.
What was that? What was that?
God,
You
it
pulled
is.
me.
That's also pulling a Suiko, to be clear. You pulled a Suiko both times.
That's crazy.
Dude, I'm so mad. I'm so mad because I have animal handling and I will never have another chance to use it.
I'm also proficient in animal handling, so
Are you actually? That's
Okay.
funny.
yeah, I am. It's the hermit thing.
Oh, okay. Okay, so relying on sort of your long experience, you've spent plenty of times with not like feral animals, but like cats that live in alleyways and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just things that live in poor areas. You calm the Suru down, sort of stroking its neck gently as it sort of warms up to you. It clearly was pretty upset. You could see its literally its feathers were ruffled, and it was sort of like looking around kind of aggressively. But you do manage to calm it down. It looks at you after a little bit, and it sort of caws at the beach area, as though to indicate that whatever upset it, it went in that direction.
Okay. I will go ahead and keep petting it. I can't really talk to it, so.
No, I mean,
but
yeah, that's what you get for a nat 20, because I made
yeah.
speak, so.
I will go ahead and just try to comfort for now if you want to move on to what Arata's doing.
Okay. Arata, what are you doing?
Over here, I'm trying to stay where I can keep an eye on the beach, waiting for the guy, and then I'm checking out the.
Every villager here does.
The thoughts going through Izuta's head at all times, and as I'm kind of just walking around near the beach area, I'm just checking out these different merchants. This guy down here, the one to the right, and like the one up top, just kind of strolling around if anything is intriguing.
Okay, there's mostly textile and like dyes. This appears to be they export textiles mostly, which you probably wouldn't have an interest in.
Not particularly.
Gento sort of yipped at some of the dyes, and he says that it'd be cool if you dyed him another color.
Than wants me to dye him another color. Okay. Yeah, Than, what are you thinking? What are you trying to look like, my boy?
Bright fuchsia pink.
I don't know what color would Than decide on.
Well, he does like his white scythe, and so in my head, he might be like, "I love my weapon. I just want to be an all-white dog now."
The collar's also white.
The collar's also white, so he's just trying to fit the theme at this point.
Okay. You ask for a portion of white dye.
I'll say I also want to. I ask them. I'm like, "Hey, would this work on like an animal if I were to try to dye their fur?"
The merchant looks kind of confused for a second, but he nods slowly and he says, I mean, it would ship off eventually, but it would be fairly resistant to like even water and stuff like that. We design these for like the outsides of houses and stuff.
Okay, well, shoot, however much you think will cover my little guy here, you sell me.
Okay. You can make a insight check.
He's gonna try to like swindle me or some shit. All right. You said insight. Oh, plus E. Let's go through. Oh, yay! Nice.
Okay. Yeah. He gets kind of a shifty look in his eyes. And he says, "Well, I mean, it's a fair amount. To make sure we really get every bit of him. I'd say probably about, I don't know, 150 Ryu or so."
Right. So. I just, how much are you giving me for this 150?
He says, "Oh, this little section here," and he brings out a container with, what you would need to cover Thanatos, but not much more.
Okay. Yeah, it's just, I just feel like, if you're not aware, I am a ninja and I pick up on these things. You act a little funny when you told me that price. So I don't know if maybe there's a chance you could, shift that price down a little bit, or, what the case is.
Okay. You can make a persuasion or intimidation check.
They're both 0. I'm gonna do persuasion though, because I'm not trying to intimidate him. I'm just more trying to be like, say I caught him in his act.
Okay. He nods. Oh well, I mean, yeah, I don't want to swindle you or anything. It's the first. It's an unusual request. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 120 Rio. That might be a little more fair now that you mention it.
I'm not sure if you're being 100% honest with me, man, but I suppose that'll work. And I hand him 110 Ryu as I drop it in his hands and I go to grab the stuff.
Okay.
What things you do for Sam?
You get the sense that he noticed it, but he does not confront you.
Okay.
He says, "All right, but best of luck. Hope you enjoy the new paint job, I guess."
I hope so too. And I guess I just kind of walk over where I have open space and I start to coat his fur and rub him all over in this new white paint.
Okay. Yeah. Yips happily. It kind of feels like a weird bath to him, basically. Yeah. You cover him in the white paint, sort of wiping away from like his eyes and his mouth and stuff. But yeah, the paint begins to dry, but it will take a little bit of time to do so.
Gotcha. All right, so I get him dried, and then I start making my way towards the towards the other people. I guess if I see Kenjiro here, kind of make my way towards him.
Okay. Anything else anyone else would like to do? Or you
Uh,
kind of group up again?
Yeah, I was gonna say I was just gonna, if they're not done with the melons or whatever this is, I could finish them with that and then tell them that, hey, your bird's calm them down. You should be good. Just be wary of strangers. Something upset them.
They nod and say thanks and say, hey, one of these melons broke. Do you want it? Do you want a piece?
Yeah.
Okay. He hands you sort of a fresh piece, making sure it's not dirty or anything, and hands it over to you.
Yeah, and then I will. I guess I'll just eat it on the way, like going over to where Kenjiro is.
Sure. Yeah.
I need to go.
As you pass, you see Suiko. Does Suiko is she just stuff everything down at once, or is she slow and savoring?
No, she's savoring it. God damn it, she wants to enjoy every little bite.
Okay, you see Suiko making her way through this golden covered piece of cake that looks very very decadent.
Oh, we used to have those in the Land of Wind. They'd be for swindling tourists, and then I just keep going, even though I don't know anything about her cake.
I'm not even bothered because goddamn, this is a good cake. Also, where'd you get that melon, and why aren't you sharing with me?
Why aren't you sharing your cake with me?
Touche.
Because
Touche.
I bought it. I saw you got that for free.
I shoved the melon in my mouth. No.
The betrayal.
Okay, Kenjiro sort of looks up as you guys approach, and he says, "Wow, looks like you guys really really got your money's worth. Is Than?"
Don't even. He said he wanted it. It's a whole thing. It's drying off. Okay, just let him enjoy his time.
I crouch down and look him.
Beautiful.
I crouch down and look him dead in the eyes and just go, "You look a lot more like me now."
Kenjiro says, I feel like we should just do all missions in snowy areas. Otherwise, he's gonna stick out like a.
Okay, well, I was told it should eventually chip away. It should be somewhat temporary, but he did say it was waterproof, so it won't be soon.
I'm sure he can blend into all the snow.
He says, "All right, well, whatever. I'm sure it'll work out." In any case, while you guys were, looking around and finding what local cuisine there is to sample, I was busy doing ninja work.
Nice.
Specifically, the fishermen did see a pirate ship coming closer to port 2 days ago. They don't normally come that close, so I'm thinking whoever this Oriole guy is, he probably made a deal with them, and they picked him up.
Makes sense.
And that is where I'm probably gonna have to let you guys figure out your own solution to this. I literally can't go out to sea. I will get seasick.
Okay, right. But
Fun.
there's a white Thanatos now. I feel like that should be enough motivation.
He looks down at Dan skeptically. He says, "I'm not sure how that's supposed to help, to be honest."
Okay, I don't know either, but
Fun.
1 second. And I kind of turn around and I
Dare
walk
you?
over here.
You pass now.
As I walk over here to the fisherman, I kind of tap the same guy on the shoulder. I'm like, "Hey, it's me again."
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, so do y'all happen to have any local solutions to seasickness or anything? One of my friends isn't so good, and we might need to go on the sea soon. So I don't know if y'all had anything for that.
He grins and says, "Yeah, we got something for that."
Mm-hmm. What
Call
is?
him manning up.
Laugh amongst themselves.
I kind of chuckle nervously, just laughing with them. So what do you got for it?
They say, "Well, what we do is tie him to the mast on stormy seas
Yes.
and just leave him there."
Yes.
Okay, right, but what if the guy happens to be twice your size and strength and could probably rock your shit? In that case, what would you do?
They look a little concerned for a second and they say, "Don't mess with the landlubber who doesn't want to go to sea."
And you know what? That's fair enough. I immediately thanks for the advice, though, guys. I appreciate it. I go ahead and I walk back. Um, actually, wait, hold on. Before I walk back, because they've helped a lot, I can ask them like, "Hey, are y'all selling those fish?"
They say, well, I mean, you know, not we usually sell to a store in town, but I mean, do you want one?
Well, I'm sure Than would eat one. If you want to toss one, I'm trying to be nice because they've helped out.
Okay. Yeah. He pulls a small fish out and sort of tosses it to Than. Than happily eats it.
As like, thanks, man, and I toss him 5 Rio.
No, he accepts it. He says, "Yeah, well, thanks yourself."
Of course. And then I walk back. So guys, unless Kenjiro, you're okay with us tying you to a mast and putting you out into the stormy sea, apparently there's not really a great solution. So I think we are gonna have to just run this one solo. Or not solo, but without you.
Kenjiro nods and says, "Yeah, I'm kind of getting that sense of things. I'll probably wait in town, try to figure out anything else that I can. Uh, I will say,
What?
in terms of the objective of this mission, do what you can, but don't put yourselves at unnecessary risk, right? There's no point in trying to, you know,
Andrew, you say this every mission, and we keep putting ourselves in unnecessary risk.
We could just tie you to a mast and push you out to sea. I mean, the fisherman
could
said
do
it
that.
worked.
It worked.
Yeah,
It does work.
yeah. Why would you not want to do that, Kenjiro?
Kenjiro lets out a long sigh and he says, "I'm not a fisherman. I've never been interested in being a fisherman. The ocean is a dark, scary place, and I don't want to go."
And
then,
I
me
can
with all my
Answer your
me,
fears.
me being very earth reliant, I'm just like, I know where you're coming from. I don't like boats either.
Kenjiro looks over at you and he says, "Well, fortunately, I'm the Jonin here, and you're the Genin, so you have to go. I don't."
So yeah, I don't get seasick all that much. It's hard not having solid ground beneath my feet.
Kenjiro nods. I feel you.
Whatever.
All
All
right.
right,
Well,
and then I guess we go on our separate ways if the boat is here.
so yeah, is the boat here already? And if not, then I guess we'll just kind of walk around and talk to people until the boat arrives.
As you're speaking with Kenjiro, Old Man Buki does arrive with his boat. Go ahead and copy and paste, you guys. Kenjiro, or just delete you. Kenjiro waves. There we go. Kenjiro waves goodbye as you guys walk out to the boat.
See you, Kenjiro.
Back in row.
He says, "Be careful, don't die, but
there's-
good job."
No earth.
And you guys see a relatively small boat waiting out in the harbor. Old Man Buki sort of at his back with a hand on some ropes and another hand on the small little steering wheel. He waves as you guys approach and hop on. He says, "Well, what do you think? The fair maiden, as beautiful as the day I met her."
Yeah,
Heck yeah.
I'm impressed.
Definitely one of the better ships I've been on.
He says honestly. He looks pretty happy with your guys' praise. He says, "So listen, what's a bunch of shinobi doing around these parts? If it's not for me, are you guys trying to deal with the pirates or something?"
Yeah, I'm actually glad you brought that up. So we heard the pirates came kind of close to shore the other day. Do you happen to know where they went?
He says, "No, I did know that they came close to shore, but then I imagine they saw me and decided to pack things up and head on to another town.
That does make a lot of sense to me.
Less courageous."
Oh yeah.
Do you know which direction they went?
He nods and says, "Well, south, the Sea of Gold. It's the only place to be for pirates these days. Normally they keep to themselves there, but apparently they've gotten a little too full. They're full themselves."
Makes sense.
Let's go.
So what are the odds that we could convince you to help bring us that way?
Old Man Boogie sort of looks you guys over, and he says, "Well, pirates and I have never gotten along. And frankly, it's been a while since Old Man Buki has terrorized the high seas.
Hell yeah.
They called me. But, you know, sort of a young man's game. And I'm not a young man anymore.
But you are the legendary Buki.
And it's
Yeah,
just
as he says that, he sort of looks up at you like expectantly.
yeah. I mean, but you can go ahead, these two.
No. I was wondering what he said. I didn't hear him.
Oh, as he looks up expectantly.
He said it's a young
Oh,
man's
okay.
game, and I'm not young anymore. That's what he said.
I got you.
Yeah, as he looks up, I'm like, hey, you might not be young, but you still look like you could kick some ass, and I would like for us to go down there and see what's going on.
He lets that aside and he says, "Well, it wasn't the compliment I was fishing for, but that's okay. I'll take it." Yeah, I'll take you guys off on your little mission here. Frankly, I need to stretch my old bones. You know, they say if you don't go out to sea at least once a year, you lose your sea legs, and well, I can't have people saying Old Man Buki lost his sea legs.
Exactly.
sir.
We got to show him what's up.
With that, Buki and the rest of you in this relatively small ship begin your trek across the waves.
Hey, small but wonderful. Okay.
Small but wonderful. As the port of Tachi fades in the distance, you guys consider this road ahead. And your goals on it. The fact that this strange threat has attacked the village that you consider your home, threatened the lives of your loved ones, and you alone are the only ones who have a chance to maybe find the true culprits behind it. Night falls as you guys continue on south. The stars lighting the path. Old Man Buki, puts the sails down, lets everyone rest for a bit. But as
Would this be a long rest or a short rest?
this would be a long rest.
Okay, I will go ahead and make my resistance bludgeoning.
Okay.
Since I can choose between 3, I'll just go ahead and take the gamble that the next one's bludgeoning.
Okay. Just a second, I gotta switch all their attacks now.
Dude, if you did that, I'd cry. I think it's either piercing, slashing, or bludgeoning that I can choose. I'm just gonna choose bludgeoning for this one.
As you all lay on the deck of the ship, your first night at sea, as you've never taken any extended boat trips before now, the stars are brighter than they normally are. They seem closer to the Earth almost, with no interfering light pollution in the way. As you guys sort of lie on the deck in your sleeping bags, Old Man Buki begins pointing up at different stars and calling their constellations by name, asking any of you if you're familiar with them.
I am like mildly familiar with
I would assume I'm not.
I'm familiar with them because my dad taught me.
Okay. Old Man Buki sort of nods in approval at Suiko's explanation, and he says, it used to be, I think it's a generational thing. They stopped teaching this stuff, but looks like your old man, he's got a good head on his shoulders. It's a good.
Oh, he sure does.
He sort of glares at Arata and says, your dad, well, I'm sure he's good at other things.
That's one way to put it.
He looks at Izuto and says, well, and as for you, well, do you mention the fact that you're an orphan Izuto, or you're not mentioning?
Yeah, I do. That's because I would explain like the journeys of either traveling or being in the desert and looking up at the stars and stuff like that.
He nods and says, you're a traveler like me then. I mean, I knew my dad, but he passed away when I was pretty young.
It's never good for something like that to happen. But yeah, I wouldn't say I'm as
as water-based as you are, but the desert has its stars.
He grins and says, hey, you got to give it a try, okay? Being out here with the stars above, yeah, I can't imagine anything better. And he begins snoring almost immediately after that, as the rest of you fall asleep, taking your long rest. You wake up in the morning, continuing your journey for about a half a day. Arata, you can make a perception check.
All right. Is this smelling?
This is sight.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I guess I should ask if anyone else is proficient in perception, they can also make the roll. I don't remember who's proficient or not.
How do you know if you're perception? Perception? Oh, okay. Yeah, no.
I got a +5.
Okay, so it sounds like you're proficient then. So you can roll as well, Suiko.
My summoning czar, I'm not.
Yeah, that's why you have the summons. Never rolls low. Okay.
Except for chakra.
Well,
Hey!
I'll pay for it at some point. So Suiko and Arata, you guys both see in the distance sails approaching of a ship larger than yours. Not like super large, but larger than yours. What do you guys like to do?
Uh-oh. I immediately tell the rest of the group, like, hey, this feels like a problem, potentially.
Old man Buki sort of looks back at, as you pointed out, and he says, that's a pirate ship, all right.
Right. So we are on open seas. Is there any way we avoid this, Buki? Keep it straight with me.
Buki says, well, I wouldn't want to strain the fair maiden on her first voyage in so long, you know. She could outrun them, but no need to stress her, right? You guys can handle them.
Yeah,
Of course.
I think we can.
Of course.
All right.
Me just wanting to take my anger out of not being good.
Before Izuto gets silly over there and starts making noise, can we tell if the other ship has seen us? Like, are they coming towards us?
After you observe them for about a minute, yeah, it definitely looks like they're getting closer.
Okay. Second question for this ship: is there any way you could hide against the walls, or they couldn't see us until they got up on us?
There's a hatch below deck. The below deck is very small. It's not really. You could stuff yourselves in there. It's mostly for cargo.
Okay.
Yeah, the walls of the ship is not really very. Yeah, they're not really. It's just railings basically, wooden
Okay.
railings.
I think some of us should hide inside of there, and then we can kind of come out and surprise them if they try to board the ship or anything, so we get a jump on them.
Are they? Where'd you say they were? Behind us or in front of us?
They're behind you, coming towards you.
Okay, cool. I'm in the right spot. We're good.
Okay.
Are we
So-
acknowledging me or no?
I don't know. Is
I
there
am not.
Okay.
But so how many do you want half of us below deck?
No, it doesn't matter at this point. Izuto wants to fight, and that's fine. But we need to all work together. So we'll go ahead and take the fight. As I step up, get prepping for the fight.
Old man Buki says, I'll be managing the ship, making sure they don't ram us or nothing. Got to keep the fair maiden nice and safe.
Sounds good to me.
That said, if you're feeling you're wounded or something, I might be able to help out.
Okay, we'll let you know. Hey, Izuto, show him what you got.
Yes, sir. I give him a smile. The first kind thing that I've given him so far.
And I take that for everything it's worth.
Nice.
You see the pirate ship get closer and closer, gaining on the fair maiden.
That's a parrot, bro? That's a dinosaur. What do you mean?
Before they get here, I'll go ahead and activate my test ones.
Okay. As they approach, one of the pirates sort of leans out and with a little shouting device, shouting cone, he calls out to you guys. He says, "Hoist your sails, prepare to be boarded, get all your valuables in a nice convenient spot."
Before he finishes, we're not rolling for initiative yet. Before he finishes, could I get closer to him, while I'm flying? or like board him before he boards us.
Does your dust coat give you flying?
No, I said dust wings for the before thing.
Okay. Okay, yeah. Let me think. So dust coat, that's invisible, right? So they can see that.
Dust coat is invisible. The dust wings, by description, are massive wings and by design and description.
Very
So
visible.
those are definitely visible.
Those are very visible.
But yeah, I'll say you can get the first action of combat here, as you ignore their attempts to. Well,
Also, Hudson, question.
Yeah.
Did it take us a week to get here
to
the town?
Yeah, it would have about a week. Yeah.
Okay. So can I use my chakra reserves then?
Yeah, sure.
Yay!
Well, I should point out you might want to save that.
I was gonna say you probably should save it. I don't think this would be the fight where you want to use it.
It doesn't cost anything.
So yeah, I think it
says,
just sits in her pool.
Yeah, it just sits there. All I need is a week of downtime, and then I have
So
it.
stupid. Okay, all right.
Yeah,
Whatever.
No, yeah,
My
I remember reading
business.
this. Yeah, she gets a week of downtime, and then she just has extra chakra that she can use inside of like her pool.
Heck yeah.
Wait, I thought isn't it just for use in this fight or?
Let's see.
I think she can grab from it, like pretty much in any fight. It's just the pool doesn't restore unless you have a week of downtime.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So it's like it's
All
just
right.
a pool that sits with her as long as she has had time to get it. I believe.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't get why she would.
Yeah, and it cannot be replenished with like long or short rests. I needed like an entire week to regain it again.
Okay. I mean, yeah. So that's what I'm saying is that like it might not be worth it to use for this fight, but yeah, whatever. It's up to you.
Okay, I see. It's not like I'm going to get a week of downtime after this, am I?
No, that's what I'm saying. So like, you wouldn't be able to replenish it, right?
So like he's saying like so if you do it now you're using it as opposed to we could have a short rest or a long rest and you replenish it that way, and then you use it.
Well,
for a
no,
big fight.
it said that I cannot replenish it with short. or
No,
long rest.
we get that. I'm saying if you use your normal chakra, you could replenish that with short or long rest. You can replenish this, so then you would activate it when you need it for a long rest. Although, if you just want to use it, go for it.
Okay, I see what you're saying. All right, whatever. Let's go. Start the fight.
So Izuto bursts out with his wings at the ready. That's an action, right? The wings.
The wings themselves are an action to cast them. Yeah.
Okay, so that will be sort of the first action that initiates the fight. Everyone go ahead and roll initiative.
Dun-dun. I also keep forgetting that we can run over water, so it's not like this will be like as painful as I'm imagining it'll be.
I'll go ahead and use my movement to. I would have moved this close even before the initiative rolls. I would have moved. This
Are you
close.
sure you don't want to swim, Arata?
Yeah, I'll avoid swimming on this one.
Use the waves for cover. Did everyone roll?
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay.
I rolled for me and Than.
Okay.
I think the only people that beat me were Arata.
All right. So Arata is up first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me go back
Go
to
ahead.
my thing. If you have something to say, go for it. I have to figure out what I'm going to start with.
Nope. You're good.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready.
Concerning.
Okay, I need to go to the bathroom real quick, so you can think about what you're doing.
I am ready. I am so ready.
I
I've
can't
been more ready
even-
in my life.
Can't even start with Fang over Fang. Don't want to start with... Okay. So I could... I guess I can board the front of the ship and yoink this guy with poison. Hey, would you have told me what you're planning on doing before we initiated this or no? Easy toe.
I probably wouldn't have.
Okay, fair enough.
In
Yeah,
all
there's no way.
fairness, I don't think I would have.
I'm just gonna go according to what I feel I should do then. Okay. Okay. I guess I don't know if I need to wait for him to get back. 35. See, the problem is because I don't know if I can just go from here to here. Okay, perfect. So, because like I understand the boat's like elevated on the water. So is this still 35 feet, or will it take like extra to get onto the boat?
Yeah. So it would take. I'll say it's fine because you can leap down and up, and I'll say that sort of
Okay.
that yeah, you're good.
Okay, gotcha. I'm going to run over to this first pirate right here. Um,
Oh, yeah, we can't go.
oh, we're like under
With
the
the
boat. That's funny.
Uh,
Um,
Here, I'll change the boat here. I'll make it a map object.
their boat has sunk.
There, I think that's right.
It was forward one.
Oh, okay.
I was like, because I know I had space to get on. So as I get here, or I guess I would probably, before I got off the boat, I used my bonus action to coat my blades with poison. And then as I got over here, I went ahead and pulled them out and went for a quick slice across this dude's chest. Are you there, Easy Toad? That is so convenient. All right. Plus 7. If that doesn't hit, we're throwing hands, Hudson.
Yes, that does hit.
And then once I get there, so I'm rolling. He's gonna have to make a DC 12 con save for the poison.
Okay.
2d6 plus
Oh,
a
we're spaced out
d6
so inconveniently.
for my weapon, and then I have. This is actually doing a fucking lot of damage. 3d6 for sneak attack, and then 3 for dex. Well, it was doing a lot of damage until I rolled 3 2s, a 3, and a 1. You failed it. Oh, that's huge. Okay. So he takes the full damage from the poison. So he's taken 18 damage, and then he is poisoned, which means he's going to get disadvantage on his attack rolls and ability checks.
Okay. Please remind me of stuff like that because it's
I will.
hard to-
Yeah, I'll try to remember most of my stuff I put on him. I'll try to remember for you.
Okay. All right. So your knuckle blades sort of sink in, sinking past his leather armor and dealing the poison damage in addition to the slashing damage. Is there anything else you'd like to do, Arata?
Nope, that's it. I used my bonus action stuff already.
He sort of lets out a cry and he says, "Hey, they're ninja. We take them down. We'll be known as the hottest pirates in this area of the sea."
Get all
You're
the
not that good
pirates.
looking.
Will.
Keep talking. The poison goes faster.
He walks up and he'll swing his scimitar at you and see if he can get you.
Fair enough. 23 hits, 22 hits, and I cannot sub out of that.
Okay. So you take 14 points of damage. I see he slashes you twice.
Ouch.
The pirate next to you will attempt to attack you as well, but he is at
disadvantage.
disadvantage.
Yep.
So first attack, miss. Second attack, miss.
Miss. Nice. The poison is value.
And tosses up. Or what? White fan.
Oh, white fan is up now.
Nice.
All right. How saucy can we get here? You can go 30. I fear that parrot in the back. Okay, so Fan will run to here. Boop. And then as he gets there, you see him pull out his scythe and start to kind of like tense up like no one has seen before. And at a very quick pace, almost like not as fast as Kenjiro, obviously, but in a similar vein, dashes very quickly through these two pirates, dealing an attack to both of them with Afterglow.
Okay.
At a as it describes it, a blinding speed.
All right. Yeah. The white fan flashes across the across the deck.
Hopefully, it doesn't ruin his new paint job. Okay. So this will just be a hit to both of them. So that would be plus 2 plus 4, so 6. So that will be the first guy, and then the guy below him. 20 plus 6. Blaine's rolling.
He is rolling.
Wow, that's weird. Both of those will definitely hit.
All right, so these are basically just weapon attacks to both of them, dealing the weapon damage. So it'd be a D8 plus 2 to the first one. Oh my god! A D8 plus 2 to the next guy. That's more like it.
There's the errata we know.
All right. So the first guy took 10. Next guy took 3. As Than gets to this point near the second pirate, you see him kind of like hop into the air, and as a finisher, slams his knife down into the second guy with his falling blade.
Okay.
Please, this is please. Oh, I get advantage on this. I get advantage on this 'cause it's a finisher.
Yeah, that'll hit.
20 hits. Nice. Okay, so now with that, the falling blade, he is taking the weapon damage plus 6d10 plus the 5
Yeesh.
ranks of bleeding. If this doesn't just kill.
Then just leveled up.
And there goes all of Than's chakra.
Oh, that's annoying. You're in such a weird spot for Manjutsu.
But yeah, so Than blindly dashes in, and as he gets to this last guy, he slams down, hitting him with 5 ranks of bleeding on top of all that damage.
Okay. So that's at the start of his turn. He'll take bleeding damage.
Yes, yeah, he takes he'll end up taking 5d4, and he can stop it with a DC 15 medicine check if he wants.
Okay. Easy.
Oh, actually, it does say at the end of their turn. Sorry.
Oh, okay. So you might get it. That makes sense.
Yeah, because he can stop it.
Chance to survive. Izuto, you're up.
I don't know if hit either you or Than with this. So I'll go here to not hit either of you. I just won't be able to hit.
Just to give you a sense of the parrot there, it's flapping its wings about like 5 or 6 feet up from the deck.
Again, you keep saying parrot.
Hear me out, because this math kind of works out. I go 5, 10, 15, and then 5 in the air, like vertically.
So you don't hit Than with the cone.
So I don't hit Than with the cone, but I hit the rest of it. I think that works out.
What's the cone?
No, it's not a cone. It's from it goes from myself. So I would be hitting, since it's minus 5 feet because I went up. Like minus 5 feet on, or how are we going to do this?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I will say, I think Than, he would have dropped over the edge like after he had finished his thing.
That's fair. Doing his little fall, his little slam down.
Yeah, he's probably kind of covered there anyway.
Okay, I will go here then and then hit all of them.
Okay.
Because that's 15 for all of them.
All right. The guy does get an attack of opportunity as you leave his melee space.
I do like the idea of Than dashing in, slashing down, but just like missing the boat and just like splashing into the water as he goes down.
He misses. Okay. So what save is this?
This I'm glad you already know. It's a Constitution saving throw. And it is for everybody on the boat except the Rada and Than.
Okay. So it's +2. They will attempt to use their limitless potential. Because I don't know what it is, but I feel like it's probably going to be nasty.
Oh.
Fail. What's your DC?
16.
Okay, so success. They're just rolling pretty high. And then parrot. Or does this require them being on the ground or no?
Nope.
Okay.
Within 15 feet of my choice.
Right.
Oh, it's actually all creatures with. This one's actually creatures with like my choice. So actually, the movement thing wouldn't have mattered.
Oh, okay. So the parrot succeeds. So only one of them failed, which I mean they roll pretty high on their.
Yeah. Go ahead and. that. So that would be, damn it, not bad. Whoever failed gets 15. The dude whoever failed gets 30. Whoever succeeded takes 15.
So the guy there, can you describe the jutsu? Like what type?
Yeah.
Basically, emanating from my wing, since I have my wings on right now, you see like kind of like shards of dust fall off and stick themselves onto all the pirates. The ones who succeeded or were able to like get them off before it got too bad. The one that failed, the sand is just kind of stuck on him, magnetized, and it's basically just a mass of just dust and particle stuff just being kind of shot at them. And then like the ones that, like I said, the one that failed, it kind of like, I guess, burrowed into his skin, and now he's magnetized, and the ones that succeeded were able to kind of not get them in as much.
Okay. Arata, or the guy next to Arata, sort of falls to his feet as this magnetized dust.
Was that the guy that failed?
Yeah.
Damn it.
The other ones just take 15, which it's still a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Right.
It's upsetting because like with that ability as a bonus action, I can throw one of the magnetized ones at another object that I can see. I thought would be funny. But,
No. Yeah.
so.
Is there anything else you'd like to do, Izuto?
I will use. That was 25 to get there. I'll use the 5 remaining feet to go up vertically.
So similarly to Arata, just keep track of like where you are vertically. So
I got you. Yep. I'm 5 feet above the ground right now.
Okay. The pirate next to you will attempt an iron strike.
What's the range on melee abilities anyway?
On
like verticality wise.
Verticality, I typically treat. You'd have to be about 10 feet up to.
I was gonna say because I know it's usually like 5, right? Because 5 would be melee range anyway.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
So you'd have to be 10 feet up.
Yeah.
To avoid them. 17 to hit. I don't remember if that hits or not.
That hits. I don't have dust code on.
Okay. So. So you take 13 points of damage. Additionally, you cannot make a reaction to that attack. As it sort of knocks the wind out of you for a moment.
Right.
Next up is the parrot. Which he will go ahead and do his second wind as a bonus action. So he restores.
That's a big pair, bro.
He restores 11 points of damage. And then as his action, he swipes his wings at a rapid pace towards Izuto, doing his slicing airwaves attack. 15 to hit. Does that hit?
Exactly 15, so I think it does. Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly 15.
Wait, if it hits the AC, does that miss, or I forget?
Yeah, it's meter beat.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, that's right.
For 8 points of air damage. Pretty low roll there.
Yeah, I won't want that one.
Okay. That's it for him. Old Man Buki just steers the ship a little bit closer to the pirate ship to give Suiko an easier time getting across there. Pirate will target Izuto with an iron strike as well.
Is that the same one that can use a reaction on?
Correct.
Damn.
He does hit. This is why they use iron strike to keep you from doing anything sneaky. For 12 points of damage.
Oof.
Sheesh.
Next up is Suiko.
All right, if I'm gonna 1v1 your ass, I gotta learn how to do that.
Oh my fucking god. This guy, 5 points of damage, huh?
You can ignore him.
Or not. He might come back and hit me. So
No, I go first. I go first.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, he's really. I don't know if I can frickin'.
You know they can.
Okay, yeah, I can. Okay.
You have 40,
You're right.
45 now.
Okay. Broop. Oh, hold on.
She said.
It's like we all know.
I'm only at 45 feet of movement too.
We all know I'm going to kick him, but how am I going to kick him?
You bring up a valid point.
Gotta strategically plan how I'm going to kick him. Where's the one? Okay, well. Let me do my typical Moonlight High to start out.
Okay.
My double kick. Because you know I have not switched my D ranks out for C ranks yet. Shit. Sorry, I'm in a stupid moment right now. Hold on. Okay.
Yeah, that definitely hits.
Ayo.
As does that.
Damn, we're rolling.
Okay.
To be fair, +8 is kind of insane.
Thank you. Plus 1d6. Okay. 4, right? Okay. I feel like I always roll so low on the damage, though.
Yeah, that's true. You don't have typical Suiko rolls on damage. It's just on attack.
Yeah.
In any case, you kick him twice for a fair amount of damage.
Right, can I use a combo point, please?
You certainly can. What would you like to use it on?
I'm just gonna do the extended taijutsu, my regular basic attack.
Okay.
And then use a taijutsu. Okay, cool. Hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
And then just a 1d6 plus 4, right?
Yeah. Yeah, your
Just
normal
making
damage. There's low roll.
Okay.
So you used a combo. You get one more attack.
Oh, I get one more attack?
Yeah. So you can attack once as a bonus action without using a combo point. You can attack twice with a combo point as a bonus action.
You also can just do an extra attack straight up. No.
Oh, that's true. But she used her action with her Moonlight High or whatever. But yeah.
Okay. So, sorry, am I rolling for another unarmed taijutsu attack, just a regular?
Yeah, if you want to use a combo point.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, yeah. So go ahead and just like before, roll another attack.
Okay. See if it hits.
That'll definitely hit. And that is a crit because your thing is a critical on 19s. So regardless of what you roll,
huge.
she is taken down.
Sorry, what did you say?
You take him down with 6 plus 4, so that the min damage takes him down. So the two kicks, he's sort of on his ropes, and then 2 quick punches, and he goes down, thudding against the deck.
Heck yeah.
And I believe that's all you can do on your turn. I think you
yeah.
Arata, you're up.
I said I think you've peaked. All right. I am going to I want to assure I kill this guy, so I'm gonna go ahead and steady aim as my bonus action. So I will not be moving, but I get advantage on my attack roll. That's concerning that you're rolling right now.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay. No, for sure. Should hit. And then 7 crit. Alright. Then I get my weapon plus sneak attack. I did not do any poison, so it's just +3. So we'll go ahead and knock this dude out.
Yeah. He's bleeding. He's not having a good time. And you finish him off.
And that is it. I have bonus action to action. I can't move because I steady aimed.
The 2 pirates are down. Than is up next.
See, I'm gonna come help. It's just how do I want to come help? Alright, I will have him just go ahead and just kind of run over to try to assist Izuto here. Don't want to give him that. Do I care? Yeah, he'll go ahead and he'll just go ahead and swing at him. Nothing too special here.
Okay.
20, so he's just gonna kind of have the scythe in his mouth and go for a good old ankle slice as he does.
Hell yeah.
Not quite.
But yeah, unfortunately, he does dodge out of the way.
Damn it, man.
As
hits combo, I'm content. Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
As Than misses, sort of sitting on the deck there, somewhat disappointed. A creature bursts from the surface of the water.
For sure.
Pirate manta ray.
A pirate manta.
Oh my god.
Sails over the deck gracefully, landing on the other side. As he sails, he releases a wild bubble wave. So Than, Izuto, and Suiko, go ahead and make dex saves.
Wait, what'd you say? Dexterity?
Yeah, dexterity.
Okay.
Can I actually react to it this time?
He's actually good for this.
Dexterity.
Gosh darn
Got
it.
an 8. Yay!
I doubt 11 saves.
11 does not save.
An 8 most certainly does not save that.
No.
Wow.
Come on, Izuto, give me that sweet dex save.
It's 17. I rolled it already.
Oh, you did. I didn't see it. Wait, you actually... Dang it. All right.
Dang it. Darn.
So Suiko and Thanatos, the bubbles sort of clump around you, and you both slip and fall to the deck, prone. Izuto, you avoid most of them, sort of blocking some of them with your wings and just dodging the rest, avoiding going prone. Just to let you know, when a flying creature goes prone, that means they fall.
Okay.
Just for future reference. I mean, it wouldn't matter there since you're only 5 feet up, but...
Yeah, that's good to know.
The manto lands in the water on the other side of the ship. Izuto, you're up.
How are they controlling that damn thing? Only one of them is alive right now.
As a bonus action, I'll go ahead and take 1 greater blood pill.
Okay.
I was gonna say, if you got to disengage, that's fine. I think we should be fine. Oh, and remember Buki said he's good at healing. Or he said he can help, I guess.
Plus 14. Then I will go ahead, and as my action, I will go ahead and do the good old classic, actually.
I'll go ahead and go 10 feet up in the air, just so the other guy can't hit me.
I will say, if you move out of his range, he has an attack of opportunity against you.
Oh, okay, that's fair. I think I'll probably take it anyway, but just for this, I will go ahead and
do like the classic like Gar move of like closing his hand and like turning it, and then most of the sand from my wings kind of envelop the parrot, and I just like out loud just go sand coffin binding and like turn my wrist, and
I try to hit him with it. It's a deck save.
So is the pirate getting the attack or no?
He will eventually get it. I mean, if you want to roll for it now, because I will be moving out of the way.
So he does have advantage on the attack as you are below 50% health right now.
Okay.
And he deals. What's their damage dice? I think it's. Where was it? Yeah, 1d8 plus 3.
I will go ahead and activate Dust Shield. Since
Okay.
I am taking damage, and I will go ahead and cast it as a C rank, so now it's a 30-point Dust Shield, so it has 19 left.
Okay.
As
That
one
will
does.
be -8, and then the deck save for the parrot.
Okay. Dex save for the parrot, yes. So the parrot, seeing the sand gather around it, just quickly flaps its wings and gets out of there. Gets the heck out of Dodge.
If I do the disadvantage thing, does that have to be before I do it? For the
I don't know. It should specify. What's the name of the feature?
Great question. Heightened Jutsu. I believe it is. I can actually look it up. It's an efficient molding.
I see efficient molding. I don't see heightened jutsu. Is it like further down? Oh yeah, there it is.
Okay, I was like, I don't know, because I used the website for the refined stuff.
All right. It doesn't really specify. Actually, yeah, it does. It says when you cast an ninja. So you would have had to do it when you cast it, not after he rolled the save.
What it is.
Yeah. So the pirate parrot perfectly dodges out of the way. The one remaining pirate, looking a little bit uncertain at the caliber of the ninja that he's facing.
Why stand? Oh, because he's prone.
Yeah, because he's prone, bro. So I made him sideways. He fell down.
He will do a quick sort of hilt attack on the prone Thanatos there.
My sideways stand.
And he misses.
That's embarrassing.
And just sort of rolling, almost enjoying the little bubble. Actually, he does have 2 attacks, so he does hit on the second.
Okay, whoa.
So
pause, champ.
Whoa.
Hold up there, tiger.
Hits the prone Thanatos.
That's messed up. He's just having a good time. For 7 or for 10, is that his damage?
For 10 damage. Yeah.
Good.
The parrot will.
If he attacks a prone Than too, I'm gonna cry.
No, there's no need for that. He will swoop down towards Suiko and attack her.
Oh, God.
So I'm just going to use the attack thing, and I'm going to roll again to see if they hit with the advantage. 20 plus 8. So this is for the first attack. This is for the second. So I think. Oh, there's 3 attacks actually. Third attack.
Oh, I'm so excited.
All three of those hit.
Thanks, Hudson.
You're welcome. For total,
you're welcome.
Total. All right, so 21 damage on the first 2, and then 12 damage on the. So it is like clawing at you and pecking at you on the ground there. You feel like you're a fish being fed to the parrot here.
My favorite type of feeling.
Old man Buki, you hear him call to you guys, and he says, "Hey, if you need help, come on back. I can heal you up a little bit." That part.
And that was his action for his turn.
He doesn't want to get too close to the boat. Suiko, you're up.
Okay, sorry. So I'm prone. What does that mean again? I can't move away.
You can get
You
up.
have to use half your movement to get up.
Okay, cool. Oh, God. Oh, that requires so much movement to get back to him. Okay. Jesus Christ.
Oh, I should have used my... Damn it.
You're at 28 out of 38. Okay. Taking my chakra pill, that uses up my action for my turn, correct?
No, that's a bonus action to use your
That's
chakra.
a bonus action. Okay.
Why would you use a chakra pill right now, though? You almost have full
Oh,
chakra.
sorry. You know what I meant. That chakra, friggin' blood pill, whatever.
Oh, blood. Okay, yes, yeah.
Yeah.
I actually did
I
not
just
know.
really like chakra pills, okay?
I want to overwork that chakra, you know what I'm saying?
Dude, hey, bro. I strive to OD on greater chakra pills. If I take enough of them, my chakra reserves get bigger.
Addict, yeah. Yeah, it's a bonus action to take the blood pill.
That'd be a crazy character arc, bro. You just become a chakra pill
Get
addict.
addicted to chakra pills.
Maybe I just really miss those 4 chakra points, Hudson, alright?
All right. I mean, yeah, it's your turn. Do what you want.
It's a
There you
beauty
go.
of ED. You can take a chakra pill.
Okay.
I would actually totally buy that Suiko like gets them mixed up. Like,
You should have with like, oh no, this time you accidentally grabbed the chakra one. Sorry.
no. Oh, God. Okay, great. Anyways, okay. Like a freaking duck. Okay. Can I take my blood pill first, or?
yeah, you can take it first.
Hey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can do movement, action, bonus action in any order on your turn.
Nice. I will try to remember that. Okay. So for the blood pill, 4d4 plus 4.
Yeah, it's you guys got graders, I think. So yeah, that sounds right.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah. All right. Let's see if I did this right. Great.
That's
33. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for commentary over there.
You're welcome. And I rolled 6 d10s and a d something and got like 20 damage.
Easy Toe, do you have a plan to take out this bird?
Um,
What do you got cooking up over there?
I guess, bro. I don't know.
I'm gonna help him.
Listen,
I'm gonna help him get this pirate off him, and then he can focus on the parrot, and we'll all be fine.
Yeah, I was gonna say I gotta deal with the pirate first. Not that he can hit me right now, but still.
Well, no, I was thinking of trying to. Well, okay. When I move, the bird gets a opportunity of attack.
You're
Oh, I hate this bird. Okay, whatever, fine.
well if it wants to
Fine.
take it, you know.
After pecking me, it's like, all right, you can leave. I've done enough damage. Okay. Okay.
Hey, only the DM knows what it's gonna do.
Yeah. So what do
Yeah.
you do, Suiko?
Okay, I'll do my Hummonk thing. Okay. Which is just another double kick move.
Okay.
What's better? Please better. Thank God. Ow!
Yeah. So that definitely hits.
Okay.
He will go ahead and use his counter breeze.
Counter breeze, get the hell out of here, bird.
All right. So you see he swings his wings, and a little bubble of air, a pocket of air appears in front of him that you have to break through before you can damage him. But you did hit twice, so
Bro, I thought
you
that
might get through it.
4010 was damage. I was like, bro, what?
So, okay, so now I have to roll for damage to see if I break through it.
Yeah.
Great, which is not
Yuppers.
okay.
Bro, how did the pirates get a hold of a manta? That's badass.
So unfortunately, you're trying to kick the air there, and you almost break through, but you're just kicking at air. Can't quite get as much force behind it as you'd like, and you fall back to the deck, not having dealt any damage.
Great. Well, after that move, it lets me leap back 10 feet after that.
Oh, right. I forgot. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Is there anything? Okay. How about? Oh. Disengage your dash attack. That's good to know.
All right. You still have half of your movement if you want it, Suiko.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna go see if old man can heal me.
Okay. Next up is Arata. Oh, well, go ahead and move yourself, and Arata, you'll be up next.
Okay. As Suiko is running off, I grab the other half of the assassin's blood vial that I have and pour it on my knife, my knuckle blades, as I run over to try to. Do I want to run there? Yeah, I guess I'll be kind of the. I'll take the hits. No, it's fine. As I turn to the this pirate right here, and I try to swing at him with my blade coated in the poison.
Okay. He will try to use his weapon deflect on this.
That's so cringe.
It's highly cringe.
Hey, if he failed the saving throw, he'd be magnetized, which means he would have disadvantage, but fucking succeeded. So
Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good though. Pretty good though. I'm actually been rolling to hit tonight. We like to see it.
Okay.
Oh, I thought those were reversed. I thought you were looking at when really.
I should be good because I think you have to beat it, right? That's weapon deflect.
Well, he gets +1 to his AC, but yeah, that's not enough to stop the attack. So yeah, you hit him.
Cool. And then, well, I guess that won't matter because he's poisoned now. He does have to do a DC 12 con save for the poison.
Okay. He will use his second and final limitless potential. To get past that. I didn't need it.
I think he did it. All right. And so then the poison does half damage, so I'll roll the poison. And he's not actually poisoned since he did the save, but he does take 3 extra, so 22 total.
Okay.
And then because he didn't get poisoned, I'm gonna use one of my what are they called? There's a word for it. I'm using angle. It's called like my hunter exploit. That's what it's called. Whenever I do an attack, I can do it as like an additional thing, but it's not a bonus action, just like a thing. And I'm doing my perception versus his sleight of hand to make his first attack roll and saving throw at a disadvantage if I succeed this.
Okay.
Perception is +7 and then plus a d4. Damn.
So these pirates, they're good at tying knots.
Oh, to be
My angle doesn't quite get there.
All right. Next up is Than.
Okay. Than's gonna go ahead and stand his cute butt up, and then how much health does he have? 11. Can I deal that damage? Can I kill him here? Bum 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 bum.
I'm actually good.
I guess I would do more. Okay. Than goes ahead and actually sheaths his scythe. And then as a bonus action, you see basically his fangs start to kind of grow and harden. And they actually get as hard as iron. As he then reaches in and goes for just a bite at his legs. But it now will do a lot more damage because his teeth are inherently made of iron at this point.
Makes sense. That adds up. Yeah, that definitely hits.
Nice. So with Iron Fangs, he does a like unarmed taijutsu attack, but his unarmed damage is 4d4 slashing. +2. Oh, exact. Let's go.
Right. Yeah.
Let's go.
So he gets sort of bit by Fan and sort of tossed around a little bit. He falls to the ground unconscious. Fan still has movement if you'd like to move.
Yeah, he can go 15. Nice, perfect. I'm gonna go ahead and get him next to this bird.
All right, Izuto, you're up.
I cleared him out for you, Izuto.
Thank yous. Alright, I will go ahead and try for another sand coffin binding. This time, I will go ahead and roll at disadvantage. So that would be a total of 13 chakra less, which is a number that I'll figure out later. So yeah, he rolls a
Dex save, right?
Yes.
All right. So it's a disadvantage. You're using the heightened chakra.
Yep.
Or heightened jutsu. So yeah, with that it'll fail. It'll fail.
Let's go!
Boom. He is now stunned, held 5 feet off the ground. He's already 5 feet off the ground. Surrounded by massive sand, dust, and pebbles. He does gain resistance to everything except this jutsu. And then next turn I can do 5d12.
Okay. Sounds good.
32,
Next up is the parrot. He's stunned, right? There's nothing he can do about that.
27. Give me a second.
I think he can. At the end of his turn, he can make an athletics check versus my save DC to escape, regardless of being stunned.
Yeah, athletics, okay.
Yeah.
Nope. He does not get it. Next up is Old Man Buki. He steps closer to Suiko, and he says, "You're looking a little rough there, Miss Ninja."
Yep, sure am.
Words of
You do
wisdom.
anything to help that. Yeah. Wiser words have not been said.
He says, "Well, this ought to help." He sort of slaps your shoulder, and leaving his hand is this blue glowing jellyfish-like creature.
I have like,
That's Pog.
yes. Incredible.
Is this Tsunade reincarnate?
What is it? What does it do?
He says, "Don't worry about it. Just get back in the fight."
Hell yeah. No questions asked.
Suiko, you restore some HP at the start of your turn. It's your turn now.
Oh, that's sick.
Yay. I got a jellyfish friend.
That was the concern.
I hope I get to keep him.
And if you're gonna attack something, attack the manta ray because you're not gonna be able to attack the parrot.
What does resistance do? It halves our damage, right?
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Right. Attacking this stupid thing. Goddamn stupid fish. What do they-
Technically, it's below the water right now.
Okay.
Cringe.
Okay. 40. Okay. Whatever.
So probably just deal with the parrot, because I don't think we're dealing with this manta anytime soon.
Yeah.
Even if you deal less damage, it is what it is.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go for it. Whatever. Is my midnight high? Let's try again.
For a stunned creature, how does attack rolls work? Do they just succeed? Or do you still
They're made at advantage. So yeah, so we go roll with advantage. So roll 2 more for your second attack.
Okay.
To you.
You said 2 more, huh?
Sheesh.
Yeah, both these are at advantage since he's stunned.
Sheesh.
couldn't quite get there?
They both hit for sure.
I just okay.
So, 13?
14 and a 10.
Yeah. Yeah, so 13 damage.
Okay.
24.
So you punch into the metal dust surrounding this parrot. He sort of lets out a squawk. He's hit from the outside there.
Great. Would it be any benefit to spend a combo point to try again?
Not really.
I wouldn't.
Not really. Yeah, that's fair. Okay, great.
Like max, you can do like 8. So if you even high roll it, you could do 4.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
All right,
Great.
Arad is up next.
Yeah, I guess I'll go ahead and I guess just swing my knife at it. I'm not gonna waste any of my other poison vial, so I will go ahead and just pull out the knuckle blades and go for a little slap. I guess I won't steady aim because I already have advantage anyway.
Sorry, moved my character. Here we go.
Hit.
What's the name of this jutsu?
And coffin binding. Mine?
Yeah.
I thought you were talking to me. I was like, I'm just swinging my knife at him, bro. This one's called the fucking clap his ass with my knife jutsu. I don't know, bro.
That's called Cassie's hands jutsu. Ronda uses it. Yeah, it's hand coffin binding.
Is it a clan jutsu?
No. Hand coffin burial is a clan jutsu. That'd be cool.
Okay, no, I found it. Must have been mistyping it.
I'm dealing 8.
All right. Next up is Than.
He'll do the same thing, and he has his iron fangs for a minute, so he will go for the same thing as well.
Okay.
All right, fair enough. I'm assuming the AC is higher than 10,
The AC is higher than 10. So.
and he'll just chill there.
All right, Izuto, you're up.
I will go ahead and compress him. Kind of.
Break his brittle wings.
Okay.
And that does. Oh my god, that's so low. Actually, no, that's not that bad. 33.
That's a ton. Are you kidding me? 60-12?
Yeah.
Man dealt 33 and goes, I don't know if that's enough.
I just rolled a 2 and a 1. All right, leave me alone.
Hey, I
right.
feel the pain. My 60-10 did 25.
Pirate Parrot gets another chance here.
Isn't this still like at the end of the turn? So even if he gets out, like we're still slapping him.
Correct. So he does get out, but that is at the end of his turn. So yeah, that's it for him. Old man Buki, he's good. Suiko, another 4 HP. He calls out and he says, "Wow, you really walloped him."
Just trying to get this bird, brother.
Suiko, yeah.
Great. Whatever.
Hey, listen, we got 4 people in a row to deal 16. I think we got this.
All right, whatever.
I wouldn't think too hard.
Yeah, friggin'. Okay, whatever. Can I just do a regular attack, you think? Would we be able to finish him off?
Yes, 150% yes.
Great. Okay, love that. Great. Let me just a regular unarmed attack then.
That's
Okay.
fine.
You can attack twice as an action now, since at level 5 you get to attack twice with your regular.
Okay, cool.
First one misses.
Advantage. Oh no, he's not. He's out. Never mind.
1d6.
And you could do one as a bonus action as well.
Make another attack as a bonus action, you said?
Yeah. Or you could do
Okay.
2 more with a combo point.
Okay.
You do 4 attacks? Jeez Louise.
Oh, yeah. That one does not hit.
No, it does not.
Great! Combo point it is. Please hit. Ayo.
All right, so 2 hits.
And just a 1d6. Oh.
I do forget she has like a plus whatever. It just
If I
works.
could just roll higher on.
3. Oh no, he's out. 6, 10. Yeah, he's out. There it is.
So,
Okay, he was out.
he would have. He was saving his counter breeze, so he decided not to use it. Big mistake on his part. As he was sort of slumping against the railing of the deck there, knocked out by.
Goddamn nerd.
Arata, I feel like I skipped the mantis's turn, or the mantis turn.
Oh, what a shame.
It wasn't. I didn't know if it I don't know how that worked because I
I
didn't
didn't see him on the turn order.
I forgot. I rolled initiative for him, but I didn't put him on the turn order because he was coming up after you guys.
As a surprise.
But in any case, Arata, you see him disappear into the depths, abandoning the fight apparently. So, with the combat concluded, I know it's kind of getting late, so we will end the session there, and you guys can think about what interrogating questions you might want to ask these guys.
I want to loot their booty.
Yes, exactly. Thank you.
Or that would also work.
Priorities.
All right.
Let Arata do the talking, and then Izuto and I steal.
Sounds about right.
Division of labor. All right. All right. So I'll see you guys next week. Suiko, you can feel free to switch out any jutsu you want if you want to review.
Yeah. I will sort that out tomorrow.
Okay. All right. Well, good session, guys.
Yeah.
See you guys next week.
Yes, sir.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.